Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota, and I am late. I apologize for being late. One of my clocks that I looked at was not properly oriented, so to speak, so I didn't think I was actually late, but I am. So here we go. Here we go. Back to it. I'll never be on time again. How are you guys doing? We have a couple things to talk about today. Anonymity T2. Yes, they killed your old account for whatever reason. Check your subs. I bet you lost more. Yeah, guys, YouTube is on a purge. YouTube is on a censorship bender. You'll notice it tonight if you watch the live viewer totals throughout the night. Hell, we had 540 waiting. We're at 264. They are messing with everything. Yes, I am looking into alternatives. However, as a predominant live stream show, there aren't a lot of good alternatives. So please make sure to check your subscriptions. Make sure, if you have to create a new channel or whatever, new account, because your old one gets yeeted out of existence, go ahead and resubscribe when you do. That's going to happen. At some point during the night, I'm going to make a plea to the audience to hit the like button. If you're here and waiting, you can go ahead and hit it. That would be lovely. We'll ask again in a little bit as people filter in. YouTube, I don't know what to do about it. People misconstrued some people misconstrued what I said last night, which is not new. People misconstrue what I say all the time. But YouTube is currently the only platform that works in this way, with this effect, and with them... Oh, sorry, getting rid of these socks. And with them doing this the way they're doing it, who knows how long that's going to last. The one thing that really helps out streamers and YouTube content creators is to hit like, comment on their videos, talk a lot in the chat. Otherwise, YouTube might think you're an evil Russian bot. Don't worry. Nothing can interfere with election, but Russian bots inflate numbers all day. That's just what they do. YouTube streamers, all we do, hire Russian bots, come around, fix everything. It's fucking ridiculous. The absolute state of what YouTube is asserting is going on is beyond the pale. I'll probably do a video on it because who likes subscribers, right? Who wants to get to 100,000 subscribers? What the better thing is to do is to call YouTube out on bullshit and then lose more every time. So there we go. That's how that's gonna go. But yeah. Tonight, we are taking a break from election pilling because people kind of hate it, and I don't blame you for hating it. I'm not the biggest fan of covering it. It's just what people are watching right now, and people have questions on, and I have opinions on, so that's that. But I think there will be a lot less post-election coverage over the next several weeks. Outside of major events, I'm basically done covering it because there's a point where change isn't going to really be affected. And so there's not much use. I'll cover major events if they happen. But other than that, we're going to be focusing on other areas of the legal field that are more traditionally interesting as the interest in the election lawsuits fades away into blissful effing obscurity. We'll do that. So we'll be talking today. We've got two major subjects. and that is MasterCard's love affair with PornHub. MasterCard is the jilted girlfriend of PornHub, and it wanted its many videos removed, apparently. So we're going to talk about that. There's actually, the PornHub situation is a very broad situation with a facial excuse for what's going on, and I'll give you my opinions on what I think has more to do with what's going on that. The other one is a little bit different. That is the love affair between Melinda Scott and Joshua Moon. Joshua Moon, the alleged owner of the Kiwi Farms, has been in a lawsuit with Melinda Scott, although apparently Mr. Moon did not know he was in a lawsuit because he was not properly served in the lawsuit. And so this thing has taken a bunch of roller coaster twists and turns, and we will be going through what has happened in this lawsuit. I don't know if you guys know this, but Josh lost this lawsuit before he even knew he was in it. Null is not coming on tonight. No. I didn't say that he was in any place. When people asked, I said I would, of course, extend an invitation. However, the notice was far too short. And if you guys don't know, this, and apparently Melinda Scott doesn't know, but Josh doesn't live in the United States, which is a crucial element of this case. And because he does not live in the United States, he is in a time zone where my show is very, very inconvenient for him. And so that wasn't going to be an option today. I also believe that Josh is not really wanting to talk about the ongoing suit that he's in while it's going. I think it'll probably be dealt with pretty quickly based on what's happening. And then once it is over, I will gladly have him on for a post-mortem of it. But I'm not going to have him come on if there's any chance of compromising his lawsuit. And I don't want him to say something that would somehow be taken or misconstrued. And if we know anything about Melinda Scott, a.k.a. the Mountain Jew, we know that she has a penchant for misconstruing everything from her understanding of the law to the words that people say to the opinions of judges. So, by short, you mean by a couple years? No, actually, I think this will be disposed of within about a month. But yes, so I will be covering the relevant parts of the lawsuit tonight. We'll talk about the background of it. We've got a bunch of documents that are not very long. It's not like, 100-page document, but it's several, 5, 6, 10-page documents to go through. And so we will look at that, all of this stuff, and talk about how the case got to where it is. That's coming after we're all coming from talking about PornHub. I have several slightly unfinished beverages that I will be chugging down because I'm thirsty out of my mind. Okay. I also saw a report. Since I actually saw something, I'll say it before I get tagged by a billion weirdos who need an internet dad to tell them what to do. Ethan Ralph was allegedly taken into custody and subsequently released from custody today in, I believe, Virginia. I don't know what the root or genesis of the charges are. I don't know the details. My assumption, based on his tweets, is that it has something to do with Faith, his alleged ex-girlfriend / pending baby mama. Okay? I don't know. I have not read anything other than someone linked me Ralph's tweet, okay? So don't accuse me of knowing everything and covering up. I don't know. The only reason I was just sitting watching Punisher with Lady Rackets, and I got a little bling. And so then I looked, and that's what I saw. All right. I assume it has to do with Faith. There are allegations out there, from what I understand in trying to catch up on this subject. There are allegations out there that Ralph physically assaulted Faith. I believe I saw that there's an allegation that the sex tape posted by allegedly Ralph, although he denies it, kind of looks like Ralph posted it based on the circumstances, but I'm just reporting here. There are, I believe, allegations that now that is being called revenge porn. I did a video on this when it came out. There is, to my understanding, some evidence going both ways on that. Maybe a statement from Faith that it was consensual. I don't know. I've just got bits and snippets, and I don't have an encyclopedic memory of the 1,000 pages of Kiwi Farms posts I've been reading over the past 2 weeks, okay? I have no actual knowledge of what is the state of those allegations and both sides of the issue, just some glimpses. But if it has to do with the revenge porn issue, if it has to do with the physical assault issue, and if the police are involved, there's a possibility we might get to see some answers one way or another about what has happened. I will happily cover that as information becomes available on it. But my understanding at this point is that Ralph was arrested or taken into custody or asked in some way, and then he was released from custody to the point where he tweeted about it. So that's the state right now. That's all I know about it. Again, I don't want to be accused of guarding something when I just know what I know. So, and if you need an internet person to tell you how to not be like internet people, let me tell you, don't live your life emulating an internet person. There is actually something you can do, though. Internet persons, even really bad ones, often do some good things, and you can emulate those good things. You can do that. Like when bad people organize or give money to charities that you support and stuff like that, you can go ahead and emulate that behavior. When an internet person, like does a bunch of self-destructive things like drugs or going to jail, don't emulate that behavior. It's a very useful life lesson that I can give you. Okay, let's hit a couple of these chats, and then we will dive muff first into the issue of MasterCard and PornHub. Bad Vibes says, "Hey Nikki, what do Andrew Cuomo and Shia LaBeouf have in common? Hint, it could happen to you too." I don't know. Oh, yes. Andrew Cuomo has gotten the Me Too allegation. Did Shia LaBeouf? I didn't know about that one. But yes, Cuomo, an employee of a government employee in the office of Andrew Cuomo, has come out with the allegations that he's been sexually harassing her. And that will be great because he just won an Emmy. We'll see if they take it away. Of course they won't. This will be swept away so fast. So fast. But we'll follow it. We'll follow it and see what happens. See if the conspiracy is all the way up to New York. Of course. Of course it is. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to do a watch party of Greta Thunberg's life, by the way. That'll be the greatest day. Frederick Little says, "Happy birthday, Nick." Shh. 45 minutes for me still. It's 45 minutes till my birthday. For me, I'll be turning 39 on stream with you guys. I was born in Central Time. I will age on Central Time as well. And, likely the odds are I'll die in Central Time at some point. So Here we go. So that'll happen in 45 minutes. But Frederick Little does say, happy birthday, Nick. Hope you have a great birthday. Thank you. I will. I'm going to spend a minute bitching about something because that's what I get to do for my pre-birthday stream. He says, stay amazing and keep it up with the great content. I'll do a shot of Jameson in honor of you. Cheers. Cheers back to you. And I'll do a nice shot of whiskey. I'm going to finish my Boss Hog for my birthday. Okay? So that is that. And I'll tell my story about how annoyed I am going into my birthday already in just a minute. Viden the Cold One says, happy birthday, Boomer. You're kind of cool. Love ya. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Viden. I appreciate that. Bad Vibe says, wait, you have a birthday? I thought you were hatched. Well, I mean, when the egg came out. When the egg came out. Okay. Okay. So I've ordered something. I've been waiting to talk about this because I wanted the thing. I wanted the thing to show to people. There's a guy. He's an artist. I believe he's based out of Houston, Texas. His name is Robert Hurst. Okay, and he's a friend, acquaintance, I don't know, of my parents in some way. I actually don't know how well they know him. Might have gone to school, like high school, with one of them. But now he's an artist, and he has been diagnosed with a terminal cancer and given a few months to live without chemo, with chemo, maybe up to a year or two. But the diagnosis is that he will be dead very, very soon, which is, it sucks. It sucks a lot. He has a wife and I believe kids. I've never met him, okay? So I don't know his life story or anything. However, he is dying, and gosh, this one's a little tough for me because I don't like it's a little emotional, and I don't have emotions. I killed those. One thing he set out to do is to clear out the stuff in his house and studio so his wife doesn't have to. So he's kind of fire sailing all of his art. And I bought an awesome piece. I'm going to pull it up. I wanted to show you in person. It's going in my office. Let's see, artist. It's his website. If you want to pull this up yourself, is adamfineartist.com. Go. Let me get this thing. Hold up. I'll show you some of the piece. I'll show you the piece that I bought and why I'm pissed off that it's not here yet. It's FedEx is being stupid. But I'll show you guys in case you want to buy anything. This is not a shill thing. This guy did a really great painting that I already have. I actually have the original of. You can buy prints of these things still, and I'll show it to you, and I'll tell you why it's special to me, okay? But here we go. Here's his website. And I wanted to show off the piece that I got, probably on my other channel, but I was going to show it on stream at least. Here, and I want to do a Boomer art review of it. Here's actually where it is. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. So this is the, obviously, the image copyrighted by artist isn't on the actual one. Those watermarks aren't there. But this is horror movie villains of the 80s and 90s. And so he's got, Michael Myers. He's got Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Pinhead. And who the hell? Something else down here. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that looks like Jigsaw. That looks like Jigsaw down here. So I bought this, and it's supposed to be here. It was supposed to be here 2 days ago, but FedEx... Okay, so I live about 100 miles west of the Twin Cities, right? I live 100 miles west of the Twin Cities. FedEx got this in St. Paul on the 13th. On the 13th, they got it in St. Paul. It was at the FedEx location, and they said it would be delivered to me on the 13th, on the 14th, and on the 15th. And then I checked the FedEx tracking today when it didn't come again, and now it's on its way to Pennsylvania. And so I called FedEx, and I'm like, that's Jason's arm with a machete? Yeah, I guess, but gosh, it kind of looks like Jigsaw, but I think you're right. I don't know. So I called FedEx, and I'm like, hey, what's up with my thing? Why'd the address get changed to Pennsylvania? And lady says, oh, well, we have multiple warehouses all over the place to make sure you get your delivery faster. So we send it, to the most convenient warehouse. And I said, that's cool. I understand that. But here's the weird thing. I live about 100 miles from St. Paul. And that's where it was. And now it's in Indiana on its way to Pennsylvania. So I get that you have warehouses in different spots. But what I don't understand is how it's more efficient to go from St. Paul and not just go 100 miles to my house, but to instead go 1,000 miles in the opposite direction to Pennsylvania to then ship back to my house. And she's like, well, I don't know, but I swear to God that your address wasn't changed and it's still coming to you. And I'm like, when's it gonna show up? When's it gonna show up? Well, the 17th. I haven't gotten an email that says that, though. Yeah, but trust me, it'll be there on the 17th. Oh, okay. Okay. Brutal honesty. Everybody knows where I live in Minnesota. Like, the Wikipedia was changed already. I live in Spicer. It's okay. The doxing has most likely already occurred and will occur at some point. That's just how the internet goes. So, yeah, but so I'm mad because this was supposed to be here days ago. I've been waiting to show it on stream and promote it, but I don't want to wait anymore. And it goes right with my story of being really, really friggin' annoyed. So yeah, here it is. This is what I have purchased. This is the special like canvas version of it. There are prints that are cheaper. Not all of them are expensive. Most things are less than $100, but some of them, if you get the limited edition on canvas, it costs a little bit more. But if the prints are a little cheaper. If you're a sports person, he does a lot of sports paintings, a lot of music stuff. So you can check it out. But he does he have the other image that I wanted to show you? He did a series on COVID. Let me see if I can find it. Cattle. Austin scene music. Okay. Come on. He did a COVID quarantine series. I want to show you guys a particular print from it because it means a lot to me. If I can find it. Hold on. If he sold out of it, I'm going to be ticked. Come on! Where are you? Come on! Do it! Find it! Shop now! Is there a search? Menu. Search. Oh yeah. That's great. We've got all sorts of searches. Let's see. We want to search for quarantine. No results. Original paintings. Nope. Well, this is it commissions and personalized? No. I'm gonna not find it now, and this is gonna really make me annoyed. All other art. Miscellaneous images? Maybe? Okay. I'll find it. I might have to find an alternative picture of it. He might have sold out of it. Team Hall of Fames. Yeah. Huh. Okay, I'll find it in a minute. The site is adamfineartist.com. It's I don't know where he's got these particular images, but give me just a minute and I'll find it. I'll spare you guys my searches. Let's see if I can find it over here. Here I am thinking this would be like an easy thing to find, and I'm like, oh, this will be cool. I can just do that, and it'll be great. Nope, of course not. Of course not. Album. This is the best. This is truly top tier streaming. And hold on. I'm trying to remember when he painted this. I could, if I knew the date, it would be easier. Well, anyway, I might have to find it a little bit later, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here looking for this the entire stream. I'm making sure I didn't get like a notification from someone about it. No. All right. Well, now that I've ruined this segment, always save an archive. I have the painting upstairs. Should I just go get it? I'll be right back. This is a separate thing. Okay, top tier streaming. Pro gamer strats on the streaming. I'm back. So, sorry for this. I was hoping to just show you a thing. I was thinking you might be able to still buy them, but I guess there's none left. So, this is a painting he did. He did a series on the quarantine, and here it is. So, this is my youngest. He asked for submissions of like quarantine, right? So obviously this is painted when things were green outside rather than snowy. But so this is my youngest standing on our windowsill looking outside. And yeah, he did a really, really wonderful job. I took the picture. And so anyway, he's a good guy. He's a great artist. If you like any of his stuff, please consider snagging it. You know, since he's gonna die and all. I feel bad putting it that way, but that's reality. And it would be really supportive of him and his family. So, all right. So there's that bit. Let's talk. Now that we're through that, let's talk about PornHub. Yeah. Oh, you can tell this is not a paid endorsement in any way. You can buy any of his paintings at adamfineartist.com. That's that. So all right, let me pull up this PornHub story. I said PornHub and MasterCard, but it's actually much more. We're going to pull up two articles about this. One from CNN and one from the Electronic Freedom Foundation.
I can save today, but you can save the world.
Electronic Frontier Foundation, whatever it is, the EFF.
Ready.
And we'll probably get a little bit of different perspective on it. I don't know. I'm gonna trust CNN, I think.
These are the photos Holly Toops doesn't mind sharing on the internet. But the 32-year-old recently found semi-nude pics of herself on what's called a revenge porn website.
And what was
we'll first read the CNN business article, and then we'll move on to EFF article.
For a while.
And I
Toops
think it'll be
from being a modest teacher's aide in Beaumont to an unintended porn star.
Oh,
after
shit,
her next
sorry.
boyfriend posted
oh, my God. Thank you, CNN, for being such a failure. I apologize. I can't hear the ads. I don't have audio playing to me. So I apologize. I apologize. I fixed it. I fixed it. I love that it defaults to their stupid video. God, what a worst website in history. Here we go. Okay. I don't want ads either. I have ad block on. That wasn't an ad. That was their stupid video. Their site autoplayed a video. Because look, I have it right here. Ad block. Ad block plus. Brought to you by ad block. So it was an autoplay video, not even an ad. It's just bullshit because it's CNN. Bad Vibe says, off topic, COVID and lockdowns, I believe, is a plan to make citizens and businesses to beg for bailouts and socialism. I mean, it sure looks like it. It sure seems like that's a good way to do it because it worked. Ethan Amante says, happy birthday, boomer, and unrelated, but anything about the Vic case? No, the Vic case is just still at the appeals court. It has been 2 2/3 of a month since it was taken under advisement. We'll be at 3 months very soon. However, the justice writing the opinion technically has up to 6 months to pen their opinion and then to send that opinion's draft to the other justices for review, commentary, and for them to write their own opinions. And then they will write theirs and circulate them back. And it could take 3 more months after that under their rules. So we are 2 2/3 months into what could be a 9-month process. It doesn't have to be, but it could be a 9-month process on that. So we will see what is going on. There are other TCPA decisions that are happening in the meanwhile. There are decisions about fees that have been happening in the meanwhile. And so that is probably part of the considerations going in is incorporating the new opinions into the case itself. So we'll have to see where that goes. I am waiting just as much as you guys are. And whatever the results are, I'll be reporting on them right away. 9-month process started on September 22nd. That was the date they took the case under advisement, and there is no, that's the beginning of their 6-month clock. And then whenever that submission is done is the beginning of up to a 3-month clock. And it could be any day, like it could be, they typically release on Thursdays, and it could be any Thursday, though. It doesn't have to be 9 months. It could be any Thursday. It could be any day, but typically it's Thursdays. Let's see. MacGyver Man 87 says, Nick, my birthday is in 45 minutes. You'll still find a way to be not on time and penis in butt. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Chris French says, I wish to buy your face mask, but I can't find it on Teespring. Really? It should just be, there should be a link below this video. But Chris, if you DM me, I will find it for you. Or if by chance any of my mods have a minute and could grab the link to the Teespring face mask and spam it in chat, that would be great. I don't shill my merch near enough, but we do have merchandise that's available. So, I think RedTube is owned by PornHub. Big Paparoni Pizza. So I don't know if that's going to be an alternative option for you. Okay. MasterCard, Visa, and Discover cut ties with PornHub following allegations of child abuse. So MasterCard, Visa, and Discover are blocking customers from using their company's credit cards to make purchases on PornHub. By the way, PornHub is on life support right now. This kills a multi-million-dollar business pretty quickly. We'll see how long they last, but this is a way to end it fast. Yeah. This comes after allegations were made against the pornographic website in a New York Times column on December 4th, accusing the site of showing videos of child abuse and non-consensual sexual behavior. So, let's talk about this a little bit. This is the new reality that we're in. And if this is the first time you're experiencing it, welcome. Welcome to how the world now works. The children of Pornhub. Why does Canada allow this company to profit off videos of exploitation and assault? Notice they have an exploitative photo of a minor in their picture. Good job, New York Times. This is by Nicholas Kristoff. Pornhub prides itself on being the cheery, winking face of Naughty, the website that buys a billboard in Times Square and provides snowplows to clear Boston streets. It donates to organizations fighting for racial equality and offers steamy content free to get people through COVID-19 shutdowns. That supposedly wholesome Pornhub attracts 3.5 billion visits a month, more than Netflix, Yahoo, or Amazon. Pornhub rakes in money from almost 3 billion ad impressions a day. One ranking lists Pornhub as the 10th most visited website in the world. There's another side of the company. Its site is infested with rape videos. Monetizes. Whoa! I can't. Stuff that YouTube won't even let me read. Stuff that YouTube won't let me read. Revenge pornography, spy cam videos of women showering, racist and misogynist content. Okay. That's just, I mean, and footage of women being asphyxiated in plastic bags. By choice, I think. I think that's the whole point. I mean, I don't know, but I think that's the thing. Like that's like part of it. Okay. A search for girls under 18, no space, or 14 YO leads in each case to more than 100,000 videos. Most aren't of children being assaulted, but too many are. Well, how many? How many, though? After a 15-year-old girl went missing in Florida, her mother found her on PornHub and 58 sex videos. Sexual assaults on a 14-year-old California girl were posted on PornHub and were reported to the authorities, not by the company, but by a classmate who saw the videos. Now, see, these are very, very serious things. They are illegal activities, and they are to be policed. Because one of the interesting things about uploading these videos is when police or FBI crime investigators find these videos, they're able to put pieces together on how and where they're happening, how they're being distributed, where they're being distributed. I mean, they set up sting websites for this as well. There are legal means to deal with this, and there's an interesting proposition out there that by taking down this website, they're going to remove a level of access that the authorities would have in pursuing this stuff. Okay? Mallard Man, no, Null will not be on to talk about his case tonight. I'll be talking about his case after this stuff. So this is the thing. Now, we don't have, let's see, Pornhub is like YouTube in that it allows members of the public to post their own videos. A great majority of the 6.8 million new videos posted on the site each year probably involve consenting adults, but many depict child abuse and non-consensual violence. Because it's impossible to be sure whether a youth in a video is 14 or 18. Neither Pornhub nor anyone else has a clear idea of how much content is illegal. So, there you go. Unlike YouTube, Pornhub allows these videos to be downloaded directly from its website. I mean, YouTube does too. It just takes a minor amount of doing, but, so even if a rape video is removed at the request of the authorities, it may already be too late. The video lives on as it is shared with others or uploaded again and again. Pornhub became my trafficker, a woman named Callie told me. Says she was adopted in the United States from China, then trafficked by her adopted family and forced to appear in videos beginning when she was 9. Awful. Some videos of her being abused ended up on Pornhub and regularly reappear there, she said. So, this is how it happens, okay? This is the interesting thing. This is an opinion piece. The facts are... They're what? Are they concrete? Are they well-founded? Are they supported as journalism? No, this is an opinion piece. New York Times did not do an investigative report on this. Other opinion pieces have had shaky factual foundations and have been used to take down other things, other people, other institutions. That's my point on this. This is all bad stuff, right? Like, obviously, child exploitation and abuse is very, very bad things. And it's very bad that people who are not Pornhub are abusing their service in a way that exploits children. That's a bad thing. Very, very bad. You know where else it happens? YouTube. A lot. Twitter. Facebook. Every single website has this issue. It's a big issue. That's the problem, is that this issue transcends Pornhub and its otherwise legal subject matter. Twitter is really slow at taking down accounts that promote child exploitative content. Reddit didn't used to have this issue. Reddit still has this issue. 4chan has this issue. Until a moderator is alerted to it and able to find it, address it, and remove it, every website has this issue. Well, every website of a certain size. They're going to get it. This is the thing, right? So what I am suggesting is that this is a front, and it's a nice and convenient front for values policing on the internet. Now, I'm not advocating people to delve into pornography. It's a very, very dangerous thing for many people. It's an addictive sort of habit that can destroy lives, relationships, just like a lot of other things. However, as it is legal, as it is recognized as speech, it deserves the same protections as anything else that's recognized as speech, until that were to change. But it's not given the same treatment as anything else. It's not. That's the reality, and this is the backdoor approach to taking down and policing morality through government, is my theory on this. That's my theory. And it's mainly in the way it's done. It's mainly in the way it's done. There's an opinion piece that comes out in a major publication. It's picked up by other major publications, and then the story is run, and then there is pressure on companies to shut things down. There are mass outcries based on an opinion piece. And then, poof, payment processors come in and knock it down. And that's how they'll get you every time. And it's the death knell. Because if you can't pay for things, if you can't accept money in or send money out, you can't be in business. So, we'll keep reading this. Following the Times' column, MasterCard launched an investigation into the claims against Pornhub and said it found them to be substantiated. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. Remember that speak from the Vic lawsuit, right? Found them to be credible. Well, what part of them and what degree of credibility is it? The use of our cards at Pornhub is being terminated. Our investigation over the past several days has confirmed violations of our standards prohibiting unlawful content on their site. Now, are they not moderating the unlawful content? I don't think that that's true. Notice it isn't alleged. Notice it isn't alleged. They're not saying that they're not moderating it when it's reported. They're simply saying that there's a problem that it's re-uploaded. Well, again, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and if you need proof on any of that, one of the great sources of proof on that on Facebook is the story and the lawsuit from the Facebook content moderation team for all of the mental trauma that they had to suffer moderating this extreme content over and over all day, every day. This stuff is frequent on these big sites. But again, this is not about, that's the nasty thing. This is not about child exploitation. It never was. It never, ever was. That's the front. That's the front. Our investigation, MasterCard sent a statement. As a result, and in accordance with our policies, we instructed the financial institutions that connect to the site to our network to terminate acceptance. MasterCard says it's also investigating other websites for potential illegal content. I bet those websites aren't Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Meanwhile, Visa is suspending the use of its cards for purchases on PornHub, although its own investigation is still pending. Given the allegations of illegal activity, Visa is suspending PornHub's acceptance privileges pending the completion of our ongoing investigation. We know how it's going to turn out. We know how it's going to go. Visa told CNN Business in a statement, "We are instructing the financial institutions who serve MindGeek to suspend processing of payments through the Visa network. MindGeek is the parent company of PornHub." Let's see who MindGeek owns. MindGeek. This is way bigger than Pornhub, by the way. MindGeek owns Brazzers, Mofos, Sean Cody, Digital Playground, Men.com, Twisties, WhyNotBuy.com. What else? Who do we got? About... Who's, trying to find the Wikipedia. Here we go. There's more, clearly. Let's see, who do we have? They have the PornHub network. Let's see. Owns and operates all of the websites, which includes GayTube. Oh, so they're anti-gay. Peepers, Porn IQ, PornMD, PornHub, RedTube, Thumbzilla, Tube8, and YouPorn. So all of those are in the PornHub network. They have Babes.com. They have... so all of those, not just Pornhub. Pornhub is just the big one. All of those are on the block with, and again, stuff like Brazzers and Mofos or whatever are large, like, official content producers. It's not, you know, these are the major studios that are doing this now. They're the Playboys and the Hustlers and the barely 18s or whatever, co-ed magazine. That's what they are of today, for better or worse. I'm not, that's not a value judgment. I'm just talking about who these companies are. Okay. Discover has also cut payment services with Pornhub. Discover desperately trying to pretend that people still use Discover Card. We require our financial institution partners to monitor for and prevent card acceptance at merchants that allow illegal or other prohibited activities that violate our operating standards, Discover said in a statement. When Discover determines merchants are offering prohibited activity, we promptly terminate card acceptance through the offending merchant's financial institution. In response, Pornhub said these actions are exceptionally disappointing. The company noted that just days before the bans had announced new measures to eliminate child abuse and non-consensual activity on its platform, including removing all unverified content and banning unverified users from uploading content on its site. This news is crushing for the hundreds of thousands of models who rely on our platform for their livelihoods. American Express has prohibited its cards from being accepted on Pornhub as part of a long-standing policy on digital adult content sites. PayPal cut its payment services to the site in 2019. Many advocates, including the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, have called for credit card companies to stop processing payments on Pornhub and other pornographic sites. The nonprofit organization applauded the card company's latest move, calling it the right decision to finally cut ties with a profiteer of rape. The group said it had been in communication with card companies about this issue since earlier this year. And last week, a group of lawmakers led by Senator Josh Hawley introduced legislation that would allow victims of sexual assault, trafficking, and revenge porn to sue sites like Pornhub that host such content on their platforms. So there you go. And trust me, it has nothing to do with child abuse. So that's one article. Let's take a look at how the Electronic Frontier Foundation talks about this, because I think this might provide a different perspective. All right. Now we need a free speech credit card company. Oh, Nathan, that's cute. There isn't one. They're not possible. You can't do it. For anyone out there who thinks you can just build your own payment processor, you can't. You can't do it. It's not possible. It won't exist. And don't even start me on Bitcoin, because MasterCard already... I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it again in case you're new here. MasterCard already owns the patent to convert Bitcoin to fiat currency at the point of sale. So, you won't have the ability to use Bitcoin to escape MasterCard, Visa, Discover. You can't do it. It's not possible. Because at the end of the day, you need a bank somewhere, and that bank is processed by MasterCard. It's not going to stop until we do something about it. You have to stop the banks. You have to stop the banks. I don't know how we stop the banks. I don't know how you do it. Because my theory is, if Congress tried to stop the banks would stop Congress. Antitrust against processors, shut down payment processing of all government payments. Done. Game over. You lose. Stop. You got to stop the banks, and I don't know how. I don't know how. I wish I had an answer. I'm just ringing the bell. Someone smarter than me has to figure it out. But this has been happening to bigger and bigger targets. It's one step at a time. And what they're doing, it's literally the meme poem, right? Like, which wasn't a meme, but is now. First they came for the communists and I wouldn't stand up. Then they came for the socialists or whatever. Then they came for the donut makers. And I wasn't a donut, so I didn't care. Right, that saying, that phrase from the Germans or whatever, that is being reiterated. It's real. It's really happening. And these guys, MasterCard specifically, being the big one, have been doing it on bigger and bigger targets, but always unpopular targets for a couple years now. And people can go back, you can go back several years and try and find the genesis. It's just a matter of finding the smallest guy that it happened to first. But it's happening. It happened to the kill stream and Ethan Ralph. And some of you may think he deserved it or that karma was getting him early, and that's fine. However, it happened to them in the exact same way. Some weirdo journalist published an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal after the heel stream. So after Ethan Ralph did one of the best things he's ever done and raised a bunch of money for St. Jude's Hospital, they found it inappropriate because someone on the stream made some Nazi jokes, and therefore, which they apparently didn't get the irony of taking money from Nazi jokes and giving it to St. Jude's Hospital. Like, that's a meta joke that was going on, but it happened in the same way. And then it happened to Dick Masterson in a very, very similar way. Someone just decided that there was illegal activity going on in New Project 2. No one mentions the illegal activity or how to remedy it. The terms of service on New Project 2 literally said, if the bank tells you to get down, that you're off the platform, then you're off the platform. No one told him, no one told Dick anything about who needed to be removed. It was just over. It happened to Jihad Watch before that, when MasterCard told Patreon to remove that guy. Remove Jihad Watch because he was anti-Muslim or whatever. That guy had to go. It's the banks, and it's one step. and the people thereafter always are some sort of vice. Either they make racist jokes, or they make misogynistic jokes, or they hate Muslims, or they purvey porn. It's a moral vice, right? It's how dare they? By the way, every I will say it, sue me for defamation. Every MasterCard employee on earth was sitting there jerking off to PornHub when they made this decision. At the moment, all of them in unison, probably on the same Zoom call with Jeffrey Toobin, are all over PornHub when they made this decision. Every single one of them. This is a lie. They have no moral quandary with this in reality. They're only using it for control. And it just burns me up that this is going on. And the guy that wrote the article. Let's just go back to this guy real quick. Nicholas Kristof. Hey, Nicholas. How did you find out that girls under 18 or 14 YO leads you to a bunch of potentially illegal materials, my friend? Were you just doing some investigative journalism? Were you? Well, I was just... This is ridiculous that this thing I typed in worked. Oh my God. Just a little investigative journalism. FBI? Hey, listen to this. I got a guy. Yeah, trust me. No, I'm pretty sure you're going to find a research folder on his computer. It's fine. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Anytime. I'll see you at golf. Click. Oh my God. Watch out, I'm glowing. I'm glowing. Let's see what EFF says about this. Pornhub is removing millions of user-uploaded videos. This action comes after a New York Times column accused the website of hosting sexual videos of underage and non-consenting women. In response to the Times article, Visa and MasterCard cut ties with Pornhub, making it impossible for Pornhub to process payments other than through cryptocurrencies. And that's temporary. That's temporary. Sexual exploitation is a scourge on society that needs resources, education, victim support, and, when necessary, prosecution by responsible authorities to address. Visa and MasterCard are the wrong entities for addressing these problems. Yes. 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 They likely made it harder to prosecute the people disseminating this stuff. In all honesty. Visa and MasterCard do not have the skills, expertise, or position to determine complex issues of digital speech, nuanced challenges to what content should exist online, and whether moderation policies will inadvertently punish otherwise marginalized voices are issues that legal experts, human rights experts, lawmakers, and courts in the United States and abroad have been deeply considering for years. The truth is, navigating speech policies in a way that won't shut down huge swaths of legitimate and worthy speech is hard, and it's wrong that Visa and MasterCard have the power to, however clumsily, police speech online. More importantly, as a society, in the meme, we haven't given Visa and MasterCard the authority to decide online speech cases. Those companies haven't been elected or chosen by any electorate in any country. They're here enforcing speech rules that we haven't adopted in the United States, and frankly, which would likely violate the U.S. Constitution if they were adopted. And sadly, this is not the first time these companies' decisions have jeopardized speech online. Well, let's take a look at this. WikiLeaks says blockade threatens its existence, because WikiLeaks was a target of Visa and MasterCard as well. This was in 2011. Remember, it's always about finding the unpopular person that they hit that you just didn't know about before the other one. But it's ramping up. It's ramping up, and they're getting bigger and bigger targets and bolder targets as this keeps going. Let's see. Here we go. Visa and MasterCard acting together are currently a choke point for online payments. Let's check this out. What does this mean? Your speech only as strong as the weak link. Payment service providers. This one. Here we go. Payment service providers are the choke point. I was hoping they would have some stats readily available, but they don't, so we're not going to press on. This means that every arbitrary policy of these two companies can translate into rules that all websites who want to process payments must follow. Until and unless we create a diverse and robust market of online payment services not reliant on Visa and MasterCard, we have to deal with the fact that these two companies can dictate what you can read online, or in this case, what porn you're allowed to watch. And again, I mean, they say to create a robust marketplace of online processors. It's a club. It's a club. You got to be in the club, and they will just kick you out. Let's see. Here we go. We've got the gray one says, hold the F on. I thought 230 made this kind of BS null. This seems it is extremely dubious as the platform isn't editorializing. It's a platform, and they try to take down things outside TOS, WTF, plus some of the claims. Yikes. Yeah, it doesn't matter. This isn't government, though. It's a private company. Visa and MasterCard are they're not private companies anymore. Like, we need to re-understand what private companies mean. They're the payment processing network of the world. They're not private. There is no competition. You can't build the competition. If you could build a competition, they would snuff it out and it'd be antitrust. But you can't even start. You can't even get there. Automata says, yeah, how much of this problematic material is on Facebook at any given time, despite efforts to take it down? A ton. Probably way more than on PornHub, in all honesty. And if institutions suspended their ability to transact pending investigation? No. Also, happy birthday, Nick. Hey, thank you. Bad Vibe says, is this an attempt by the other side to tailor 230 to their ideals? This has nothing to do with 230. This is outside of government. Sort of. Facially outside of government. And since it's about Pornhub, it knows all about being facial. Keck7Go says, aren't we sure this is a plot by OnlyFans to steal all the models from other porn websites? And as far as I know, OnlyFans likes to exploit kids as much as any other porn site, supposedly. Yeah, what was with the guy, I think it was, on OnlyFans selling illicit photos of himself as a minor? Very creepy. Very creepy. Austin Heartless says, I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. CE says, but my master knows all. He knows what's best for me. He also tells me what to jerk the chicken towards. I go to work and he holds the money. It's a good system, he says. It is a good system. It is a good system. I don't know. Emord Nilap et the palindrome says, from my understanding, Pornhub has had less than 120 cheese pizza cases while Facebook has had over 80 million. I believe it. I believe it. Okay, a girl did that? A chick on OnlyFans? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just saw a blip about it. I didn't know who it was. Why doesn't the government take over the banks and credit card companies? Well, I don't know if we want a nationalized banking system either. That's the scary part. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I just know the problem. All right. This isn't debate over whether Pornhub is predatory. This is a question about what level of censorship power we want to give to payment processors. Ironic. By the way, is Pornhub predatory? No, I don't think so. I bet universally, with a truth serum shoved right into their penis, every single person at Pornhub, if you ask them, do you want to have underage content show up on your website? Universally, they would say, no, God, no, of course not. We just want to make money. We just want friction and card swiping, and that's it. We don't want any of that nonsense. Of course they don't. It's silly to think that they do. Ironically, until now, some of the most powerful critics of Pornhub's policies have been the sex workers, who also struggle daily with the credit card companies' rejection of their sites. These companies' power may be seen as a way to keep Pornhub to account today, but every other day they are used to remove the financial freedom of independent sex workers, Pornhub's competitors, and potential alternatives to their near monopoly power. It's a well-worn idea that pornography is one of the first reasons for the adoption of many new technologies. It's also the domain where censors in the West often choose to flex their powers. Censorship, financial or not, of sex sites gets little pushback and a great deal of public praise, including from Josh Hawley, who I really liked when he was grilling Facebook and Twitter. Josh Hawley, you are doing the same thing right now. Right now. You're doing what you're accusing Zuckerberg and frickin' Jack of doing. You're doing it right now, Hawley. You're the guy. You are now Zuckerberg and Jack. Zuckerberg likes to watch Jack, I think. Anyway, let's see. It justifies the continuing concentration of free speech choke points that have always been used against LGBTQ speech and women's and minority rights whenever a moral crusade needs an undemocratic hand. Any website or individual can find itself running afoul of Visa and MasterCard's moral sensibilities and shut off from receiving online payments. We saw it with WikiLeaks. We saw it with the kink social network FetLife. We saw it with the independent book publisher Smashwords. And we've seen it with countless sex workers. Those praising MasterCard and Visa's actions now should recognize that these censorship powers are more often used against those without power. That should scare all of us. We hope those praising the actions against Pornhub will work together to reduce these payment processors' power over online life. They won't, rather than give justifications as to why they should keep it. They won't. They won't do it. They won't do it. They love it. They all love power. They all love power. And as long as they have that power, they'll use it the same. And by the way, to any amount that Pornhub is profiteering or exploiting children, Nicholas Kristof is openly exploiting the abuse of children. CNN is openly exploiting the abuse of children. MasterCard, Visa, and Discover are openly and fully and gladly exploiting the abuse of children. All of them. They're using the abuse and exploitation of children done by other people against a different target to get moral praise and support for their own power and money. So is Josh Hawley. I can guarantee you these companies want the exploitation of children more than Pornhub does. Because Pornhub makes money without it. But Congress is different. Congress is not different. They're not different. Not in the slightest. All right, so here's my opinion on all this. If it weren't very clear, I'll summarize. This has nothing to do with this. This has everything to do with exerting power and control over a moral issue that they will be praised for. They're doing it improperly. The EFF is 100% right. These guys do not exist and are not equipped to deal with this. It's not their job, it's not their role, and it's not what they're good at. They have no business doing it. We have a legal process for dealing with this. Here's the thing. If MasterCard, Visa, and Discover find a child exploited on video, you know what they do? They shut down payments to the site. You know what law enforcement does? They collect it, they analyze it, they compare it with other stuff, and they attempt to use it to track down the uploader, the distributor, or the networks that are involved. And they make arrests. And if you've missed it, there have been like four pedophilia and child sexual exploitation rings busted in Florida alone in the past 2 months, amounting to well over 200 arrests of people. How many people have MasterCard, Visa, and Discover stopped from distributing child porn? 0. Not fucking one of them. They don't care about it. In fact, they likely make it harder to knock it down. So, anyway, you will not find me endorsing, supporting, or praising MasterCard, Visa, and Discover over their censorship. Pornhub, who cares about Pornhub? Like, pornography is everywhere on the internet, anywhere you want to find it. There's too much of it. There's a whole bunch that's awful. Shutting down Pornhub isn't going to change that in any real way. It just makes way for the next guy. That's it. And then behind that's another guy. And then behind that's another guy. When I was in college, Pornhub didn't exist. There was someone else. There's always someone else. And there will always be someone else. This does nothing to curb child abuse. Not a thing. What it does is censor a lot of otherwise legal activity. All right. Anyway, we're going to move on to this in just a minute. But there's a couple other whatchamacallit. There's a couple other chats to read before we go. We've got Austin Hartley. Wait, no. DOG Bira says, since we all know you're black, happy birthday. Here's your present. Rumor has it when Gretchen Whitmer was young, she slept around so much that her classmate nicknamed her Stretchin' Gretchen. That's disgusting. Thank you for that. Bad Vibe says, here's a thought. Where was Visa and MasterCard saying we are stopping all foreign money transfers to Hunter Biden? Just asking for consistency. Nova Zero says, Nux covered the hub briefly. Do you know they have a better implementation of DMCA than YouTube? Yes. Also, birthday coming up this Sunday, drink then. POS equals piece of shit. That's what MasterCard diddles among their patent. My birthday your birthday's coming up Sunday? My birthday is now. It happened, and I'm going to drink my very last bit of this Whistle Pig Boss Hog. This is the one that I bought for me a long time ago. I'm now 39 years old. Every drop is like 12 cents. Get out of there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I've lived through another year and COVID. Cheers to you guys. To the next one. That's a good liquor, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever have the opportunity to have a boss hog, give it a shot. Bad Vibe says, Merry Hatch Day, Rackets. What were you? Watch where you point that beak. Oh, I will. Thank you. You hear the joints creaking from here? Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's move on to a happier subject. Happier because it's ridiculous. Not happy because Jersh, dear leader, the internet's Janniest of Jannies, has some bullshit going on. That is not ever a good thing. However, I am thoroughly convinced that this will be dealt with expeditiously and in an acceptable manner. It looks like Jersh has gotten himself a competent lawyer who's made some very good filings in the case that we are going to cover tonight. And he's doing it quickly. Rational Redneck. I probably did miss your earlier one because I think I only do the $20 ones first. I'm trying to avoid election issues this stream, but let me address this real quick since we're between topics, okay? Yes, I've read the Antrim County report, or I should more appropriately say the report on the Antrim County, Michigan Dominion voting systems. I think there's a large misconception about that report. That report was not done by a neutral expert. The report was done by a guy named Ramsland. He has appeared as an expert in several cases for Sidney Powell. That doesn't mean he's wrong, okay? Before anybody jumps at me, it doesn't mean he's wrong. But Viva Fry did a very good video on this report that I'm sure many of you will hate that I even mention it. However, he's a party witness. His employer is the party. He's paid to come to the conclusion he reaches. So, I don't want to sit and doom pill about it. I don't really want to talk about it. It's there's some misconceptions about the validity of the report, but it is favorable evidence to one party, and the other party is allowed to counter it with their own favorable evidence. It is not a special piece of neutral court-ordered. It's not a neutral court-ordered report by a court-appointed expert. It's a report generated by the parties that the court allowed. So we're not going to talk about this. Where's the opposing report? They haven't filed one yet. They haven't made one yet. I don't know if they will. They can. We'll see what they do. But that's the thing. One of the things you learn as an attorney, as specifically as a litigator, is the expert you hire always comes to the conclusion that you want them to. You know, George Floyd, the independent expert, did not find asphyxiation to be the cause of death. The family's private expert did. Which one do you believe? I don't know. That's what the family's expert came up with. Incidentally, the family's expert is being well paid by either the family or the law firm or the GoFundMe. One of those things. Same thing here. So I really don't want to talk about the election stuff until there's a real news report. The reality of that report is that a judge can honestly just say, okay, that's it. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they won't produce a good report. Maybe they won't debunk him as an expert. They did down in Georgia. Maybe they won't up in Michigan. I don't know. And then we'll go from there when there's some activity on it. All right? Yeah, the guy came out and said he did it for free. Yeah, of course. Of course he did. No motivations at all. It's completely benevolent. Look, maybe he's great. He did it on behalf of a party. It's the evidence is credibility. This is not me. I believe him. Okay? I believe him. It's not me. I'm telling you what the law about party experts is and how they're regarded. They're regarded basically as just another favorable fact witness for the party. This is why I don't want to talk about it. It's the same as if you make an affidavit in court. Might be useful, might not, might be countered, might not. And until that happens, there's nothing to report. So, I don't want to sit and rant about it because everybody's going to be like, "Ha, you dumb cuck. You're just letting the other side win." No, like really, this is not a newsworthy report. It just isn't. I know Tim Pool said, "Holy shit," about it, but if you're surprised that Sidney Powell's expert found the Antrim Dominion voting systems intentionally created fraud, like if that's a surprise to you, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Of course Sidney Powell's expert found that. Ask chat to hit like. Yes, after that rant, I'll ask chat to hit like. I'll wait 20 minutes for everybody who's mad at me to leave. I really don't want to argue about this. I don't want to talk about it until there's something newsworthy to talk about. I'm tired of doom pilling. It's fucking depressing to me too. All right, TayBebe26 says, "Happy birthday, Nick. Hope you have a great day and cheers to you." Happy birthday, buddy. Hey, thanks. Thanks, TayBebe. Thank you. Okay, let's read this. This is the default judgment. See, motion to set aside default judgment. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. So here's the deal. Will I take a shot if I get to 1,000 likes? Sure. Absolutely, Retro Gamer, I will. Socialism is for figs. You already hit the dislike button? Thank you. Well, I always ask you to be honest. If you dislike it, please let me know. Also, tell me in the comments. I'm with it. I don't like it either. I'm hitting dislike on my own video. Ethris Fox, I don't have any coffee whiskey, so no. You can't. But I will drink something. All right. Oh, I am supposed to tell you after this show, no matter when it ends, but it should end right at 2 a.m. Central Time, I will be going on Twitch to stream my blind, disabled, handicap crippled Stephen Hawking playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077. If you want to see the most disabled video gamer ever, it is me playing Cyberpunk 2077. I have not even booted it up yet, so I will do that. I will do that on Twitch following this. It'll be a disaster. Bugs and all. All right. So this is the case of Melinda Scott versus Wise County Department of Social Services and other government defendants and Josh Moon. Okay? That is who this is against. She sued a bunch of government entities and then Joshua Moon. The government entities have all had the case dismissed. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single issue. Why? Because Melinda Scott is a crazy moron. She's dumb. She's stupid. She's vindictive. She files bad, garbage, shit lawsuits. Has no idea what she's doing. She thinks that she went to a paralegal school, so she has any sort of training. She's a female Russell Greer, only more embarrassing than him. Melinda Scott is a plague upon the earth for lawsuits. She is the scourge of the Western District Virginia courts. She sucks at filing lawsuits, and she should feel bad about it. She filed this lawsuit. It's completely frivolous and against the 4 government entities or 5 or however many it was. It doesn't matter. It was dismissed. She has moved to add other defendants. It was dismissed. She has moved to recuse the judge. It was dismissed. Why? Because she's just wrong about all of it. The only person she prevailed against is Josh Moon, alleged owner of Kiwi Farms. And why did she prevail against him is what we're going to talk about, and why that probably will not stand is what we were going to also talk about, okay? Yes, full disclosure, Melinda Scott filed she filed at least one ethics complaint against me, and I believe appealed it when it was soundly rejected, and that appeal was also rejected. This woman is a lunatic. She is the epitome of dumb. Top keck dumb. Gelth, I've done the mandatory update patch. I've patched it. But thank you for letting me know. All right. So this is a default judgment that happened against Josh. A default judgment in federal court happens in a couple ways, but the main way, and the way this happened, is Josh was allegedly served a summons and complaint and failed to engage in the lawsuit. I say allegedly served because he wasn't actually served the summons and complaint. And so therefore he was unaware of it until the default judgment was sent to him. That is how it goes. He never received service of process. That's what he's alleged through counsel. That's what appears to be the case. And looking at the actual service receipt that this lady turned in, it's pretty obvious to see that she didn't follow the federal rules of civil procedure on appropriate means of service. She just didn't. Because she's dumb and bad at this. So, however, the court doesn't know that the service is improper automatically. It has the appearance of propriety. And the court, doesn't really care to investigate the propriety of it. So it's up to Josh to assert that the service was improper and why, and he has done that, and we'll get to it. She's in chat. Melinda, you have to stop. You have to stop. The court eventually is going to find you a vexatious litigant, and the fact that they haven't already is a tragedy. You have to stop. Stop. Stop it. You have no legal foundation for any of this. You have to stop. For your own sake and your kids' sake, just go do literally anything else and stop. You're making yourself into an embarrassment. I'm reading your motions. You're wasting so much time. So much time. Stop. Stop harassing people through the courts. It's not your personal diary. Give me your address. It's probably on one of the service documents. I'll mail you a diary. You can just write everything you hate down like a normal human. I know a therapist. I'll have him call you. Oh my God. Stop. You have to stop. Eventually, somebody's gonna clap back at you and ruin you and your kids. Stop. Oh, okay. The pro se plaintiff has filed a petition and affidavit for default judgment, ECF number 18. Based on the pleadings and review of the record, it appears that the plaintiff is entitled to an entry of default judgment against Joshua Moon. The clerk is directed to enter a default judgment against said defendant pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 55A. This means that the defendant, Joshua Moon, is not entitled to present any defense in the case, nor is he entitled to any further notice. Now, a default judgment sounds terrible. The thing with a default judgment, though, is that they're fairly basic to overturn as long as you show that you had no reason to actually enter the case. Or even if you did have reason to enter the case, that you have a good faith reason why you didn't. You just ask the court for reconsideration. Say, I was out of the country, I was sick, I was anything, it got lost in the mail, and I would have responded. You can now make service through my counsel. Any sorts of things can happen. The same thing, if you remember, happened to Sargon of Akkad, right? Actually, I think he may have responded prior to the actual default judgment. but there was a motion for default judgment in Sargon's case because she didn't properly serve him in the UK. Joshua Moon is not in the United States, which means that you have to follow very specific rules of service, particularly the rules of service in the location where he is, or in a possible alternative, the rules of service in the jurisdiction, like Virginia, where this is filed, or maybe in the jurisdiction where the service was allegedly made, which was Florida, which, again, let me remind you, is not where Josh Moon is, nor where he lives. In Florida and in Virginia, you have to make in-person service. Now, that in-person service can be made upon a competent adult at a place of abode where you reside. So if you have like an adult child or another adult who lives with you of any relation, just so you know, if you live with someone else, you're in a domestic relationship. Like if you and your buddy are roommates and you beat them, that's a domestic assault charge in most states. Anyway, any competent adult who lives in the same place as you can accept service on your behalf, and you are beholden to that. Where you cannot serve them is at an electronic mail facility or like a UPS store. Because unless Josh is in a cardboard box, and UPS does have nice boxes to be fair, he doesn't live at the UPS store. That's not a place of abode. These are basic rules of civil procedure that should be easy to follow. Melinda Scott didn't follow them and then misrepresented to the court that she did. And at this point in time, sometime the court should look at her and say, stop it or you're going to be held in contempt. They should do that. She should be. She has no regard for the legal system. She operates solely in contempt of court. But that's a discussion for another day, and that will be up to a court to eventually impose upon her, hopefully soon, for her own good. For her own good. Okay, as to default judgment, the plaintiff must prove any damages against said defendant resulting from the allegations of her complaint pursuant to Rule 55B. There will be a bench hearing where she'll get to present stuff and Josh won't. So, that is that. But what was just filed on December 7th, so this was entered on November 16th, I believe, let's see, the judgment was default judgment sent from the office of the clerk on November 23rd. Okay, so we have a motion to set aside default judgment. Now comes Joshua Moon and moves to set aside the default judgment. Bainling, oh wait, is she spamming? Melinda, don't spam. That's the only rule in chat. I know you're bad at following rules. Don't spam. You can say whatever you want. You can call me all kinds of bad names or whatever. Stop spamming. Again, it's a basic rule, and I know those are really hard to follow, but it's literally the only one. Now comes Joshua Moon and moves to set aside the default judgment against him in this matter pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 55C. By the way, typically you have up to a year in the rule to remove a default judgment. You have up to a year. Unless you have good cause for it to take longer than a year, then then you can actually assert that to the court, and they can still entertain vacating a default judgment after a year. That's kind of the rule of thumb on when it's timely. So to have this happen, about a month and a couple days later is not unreasonable. Less than a month. Have this be filed less than a month after the default judgment is not in any way an unreasonable delay. In fact, I don't believe she had actually done the default judgment hearing yet. Okay, he became aware of the default judgment in this matter on November 23rd, 2020. I will read it in just a second, socialism. Because he received a copy of the default judgment sent from the office of the clerk, Mr. Moon did not receive the summons in this matter from the party to whom it was delivered in Florida. Mr. Moon immediately moved to retain counsel once he received notice of the default. Counsel with whom Mr. Moon was previously acquainted referred Mr. Moon to undersigned counsel, and within days, the final arrangements had been made to retain undersigned counsel. Mr. Moon is contemporaneously filing a motion to dismiss in this matter. All factors from Payne v. Brake weigh in favor of setting aside the default in this case. Specifically, Mr. Moon has a meritorious defense. Mr. Moon acted with reasonable promptness after he became aware of the default. Mr. Moon bears little or no personal responsibility for the default given the circumstances relating to service, which are noted in the contemporaneously filed motion to dismiss and its accompanying memorandum. There will be no prejudice to Ms. Scott if relief from default is granted because she has not borne the expense of a trial in this matter or otherwise suffered from litigation to date. By the way, Melinda, do you want to come on the show? If you want to come on the show, send me some means to contact you, and I will send you a link on the show. If you want to come on, come do it. I'll happily have you on. Let's see. Mr. Moon has no history of dilatory action in this matter. Let's see. Wherefore, defendant Joshua Moon moves default judgment against him be set aside pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 55C and incorporates by reference all the arguments made in the accompanying memorandum of law, which is here. Okay? Now comes Joshua Moon and submits this memorandum in support of his motion to set aside the default judgment against him in this matter. Introduction. I don't know how to get a hold of her, though. So I guess, I don't know if you're going to message me on Twitter or whatever. But, yeah. Tell me how. Tell one of my mods if I miss it. Let me know. Why the separate memorandum and motion? Why not combined? It's just how they do it. File the motion, then you file your memorandum in support. It just goes, it's different by jurisdiction. This is the way they do it in the Western District of Virginia. So, as set forth in the motion to set aside the default judgment, the motion to dismiss, and the memorandum in support of the motion to dismiss, call out your email. My email is rakatalaw@rakata.org. It's in the description. I guess if you want to email me, you can. Let me pull it up so that I can see if it comes in. As if Melinda doesn't know my email address. Melinda, you know it, don't you? You know exactly what my email address is, but just in case you happen to forget, that's what it is. Aw, Discord, what? Hold on. What? Catnip, I don't even see anything from you. Where are you? Oh, is it there? Nope, I don't have any. Catnip! You're telling me now I don't like when people... Oh, shit. Hold on, guys, just a second. What am I supposed to do? He's having a seizure? I don't know what you guys want me to do. Sorry, guys, one of my patrons is having a legit health crisis right now. Trying to figure out how I can help him. But, I don't have his address or anything, guys. I can't do too much. Okay, there we go. That unfortunately, that's all I've got, guys. Patreon doesn't give me that any other info. If anybody knows him, shit, I don't know what to do. Yeah, if I had his phone number or whatever, I'd tell you immediately how to get a hold of him. I got nothing. Sorry guys, I gotta continue on with the show. I can't really do anything about it. I don't even know where he lives. Socialism is for figs says, should a bank be able to remove payment options? Are they not federally insured? And if they are, do they not have to uphold the rights of the Constitution? Should a bank be able to remove payment option? In my opinion, no. They are federally insured. They don't have to hold up the rights of the Constitution, apparently. They don't. So, yeah. Damn, I hope he ends up okay. I don't have a way to help the guy. Like, I don't have anything I can do. There's nothing. All I have is his email address. I wish I could. Believe me, he's a really nice guy. Okay. But like I said, I mean, I can't do anything about it. And Melinda, do not put your phone number in chat. You can email me privately. I told you how. He's not contacting me. He's in my Discord's voice chat with other members. They're contacting me. That's how they know he's having a seizure. I've given him the email address. My chat has the email address, so. Okay. Like I said, I'll check for Melinda's email. I have a feeling I'm not going to get one. But like I said, if she wants to come on, she's welcome on. We've got to continue the show. I wish I could do something about catnip, but I can't. There's nothing for me to do. So, okay. All right. The plaintiff, so as stated in all the motions, the plaintiff is a frequent litigant in this and other courts in Southwest Virginia. In fact, this represents her third suit in this court against Mr. Moon. Yet both previous suits in this court were dismissed for failure to state a claim, even though Mr. Moon was never served in those matters and never entered his appearance to defend those matters. And that's because, again, there is no claim. Her claim against Josh, at best, her claim against Josh is an embarrassing proposition that because someone else on Kiwi Farms posted something she doesn't like, something, by the way, that probably is also not a claim, is also not actionable. Because someone else posted something that Josh is somehow responsible for that post. But he's not. In fact, Section 230 would specifically preclude him from being liable for what someone else posted on Kiwi Farms. And note, she is suing him in his personal capacity as well, not suing him in his capacity as owner of Kiwi Farms. This is another crucial mistake. It's also a big problem with how she failed to deliver service. Because if she allegedly tried to serve Joshua Moon at the place where Kiwi Farms could be served, which I don't know if she did or not, but if she did, that would still be ineffective service because Joshua Moon is not Kiwi Farms. He just works there or whatever. It's not a physical location. He's just the owner operator of it. And that's the whole distinct part of a limited liability company, is that it prevents liability for the actions of it. And it also precludes an automatic transfer of service upon the company to service upon the person. The rules on this are written fairly clear. It's shockingly clear. The rules of service are pretty plainly written. Designation 5, I'm glad they're calling his hospital. Hopefully they can get some help to him. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring back the document. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. And the two matters which Mr. Moon and undersigned counsel became aware of only in recent days were also dismissed by the state courts in Wise County. Against this backdrop, this court should carefully examine the circumstances of the default in this matter. The court should review the deficiencies in process and service of process which are noted in the motion to dismiss and its accompanying memorandum, evaluate the factors from pain, and relieve Mr. Moon from his current default status. So, I don't want to read through like the pain analysis. The long story short, here, I can pull up, I think I have the service document available. Where are we? Hold on. Let's see, yeah, here we go. All right, so here is the affidavit of service. Now, there's a problem here. The affidavit is actually incomplete. Notice it says United States District Court for the what? For the what? What court is this for? We don't know. Here's a civil action number. Summons to Joshua Moon, 913 Beale Parkway Northwest, Suite A, 1017. No, that is not a dox. That is not where Joshua Moon lives. That is a UPS store, which we'll see in a second. That's why this is okay. So this is the lawsuit has been filed against you. This is the P.O. box Melinda Scott uses because she's allegedly a victim of abuse. So she gets a special P.O. box that is protecting her from further abuse. I believe that's what she was using before. I think that's what she's still using. So here we go. Proof of service. So this summons for Joshua Moon was received by me on 8/18/2020. I personally served the summons on the individual at employee at Quick Pack and Ship electronic mailbox on 8/21/2020. My fees are $47.15 for travel and $130 plus $8 forwarding fee for service for a total of $185.15. Melinda, you got ripped off. Oh my God, you paid someone $200 to fail miserably. And if this person normally does service, if they normally do it, like they should know that this isn't a thing they can do. Did they call you and tell you, like this is a quick pack and ship electronic mailbox. Are you sure you want to give this to the guy? Like it may not work. Did they call and ask? God, I hope they didn't. Okay, so here we go. Additional information. 913 Beale Parkway Northwest, Fort Walton Beach, Florida is the business address of Quick Pack and Ship. Joshua Moon has an electronic mailbox there, 1017. The business will receive documents sent to his mailbox, which is sent to a third party whom Mr. Moon will have the option to pay in order to receive the documents. That is not service in any way. Like nope. That is absolutely not. You got swindled out of this one, honey. That is terrible. Let's see. Check email. I have checked email. There's nothing there yet. Oh. Okay. So that's all you really need to know about this. I guess we could pull up the federal rules. No, we don't need to pull up the federal rules of civil procedure. I guess, do we? I guess we can. I think it's what, Rule 4? Serving other process, serving and filing pleadings. So. Okay, here we go. So, summons, here's all the contents. Here's the first problem, of course. A summons must name the court and the parties. If you'll remember right, this summons right here does not name the court. So it's already defective. Like, all of the other arguments aren't necessary. I mean, they're good to go ahead and hammer out all of it. She sent a messenger with the email to your local internet cafe. Like, this alone is enough to make this faulty service. Even if he had gotten it and received it and acknowledged it, it's faulty service, but he didn't. So that's the first part. So here we go. Issuance of summons service. In general, a summons must be served with a copy of the complaint. The plaintiff is responsible for having the summons and complaint served within the time allowed by Rule 4M and must furnish the necessary copies to the person who makes service. By whom? By a marshal, blah, blah, waiving service. There's no waiver of service here. Serving an individual within a judicial district of the United States. Now, this probably doesn't apply because Josh is not in the United States. Serving an individual in a foreign country. Unless federal law provides otherwise, an individual other than a minor, an incompetent person, or a person whose waiver has been filed may be served at a place not within any judicial of the United States. 1. By any internationally agreed means of service that is reasonably calculated to give notice, such as those authorized by the Hague Convention or the service abroad of judicial and extrajudicial documents. 2. If there is no internationally agreed means, or if an international agreement allows but does not specify other means, by a method that is reasonably calculated to give notice, as prescribed by the foreign country's law for service in that country in an action in its courts of general jurisdiction, as the foreign authority directs in response to a letter rogatory or a letter of request, or, unless prohibited by the foreign country's law, by delivering a copy of the summons and the complaint to the individual personally, or using any form of mail that the clerk addresses and sends to the individual and that requires a signed receipt. That the clerk addresses and sends, that requires a signed receipt, or by other means not prohibited by international agreement as the court orders. Again, another distinction there. If you ask for relief because it's too hard to serve, and you show that you can get that relief by issuing service in another way that's calculated to give notice, you can do so if you just go ahead and actually request it from the court and get that relief. So there is that. None of that has happened here. If you're serving within a judicial district of the United States, so in the alternative, if they somehow determine that Josh, though he is not present in the United States, is within a judicial district of the United States, let's see how you do it. 1. Following state law for serving a summons in an action brought in courts of general jurisdiction in the state where the district court is located or where service is made. So that's either in Virginia or Florida, or doing any of the following. Delivering a copy of the summons and the complaint to the individual personally, leaving a copy of each at the individual's dwelling or usual place of abode with someone of suitable age and discretion who resides there, or delivering a copy to each to an agent authorized by appointment or by law to receive service of process. Notice none of that happened as well. Her default judgment will very likely be ignored because of the multiple defects in the service. Now, there's the underlying claims as well. Oh my. Okay, guys, we have a phone call to make, I suppose. Just a moment. Let's make this phone call. I am going to have Melinda on mute when she picks up, and with her consent, I will unmute her. Without her consent, I will politely say goodbye, and I will not bother her at all. She did send me an email with this phone number, so that is... I am taking it, and she says, see below, you can call here. I'm available now. So here we go. Hello, is this Melinda? Okay, Melinda, do I have your consent to broadcast this phone call? If I don't, I'll politely say goodbye. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to make it very clear that I do have your consent before I put you on the air. All right, Melinda, you are live on the air with me. How are you?
I'm okay. Got a little bit of a hoarse voice. I'm doing midnight shift with a baby, but I'm good.
Okay. Why did you want to call in? Other than the fact that I'm covering this disaster of a lawsuit, what do you?
Yeah. Okay. I saw notice that you were doing this, but hey, I just want to say, make sure that you include all the pleadings and motions, because you should know it's not fully briefed until January the 7th. So, you know, it's not real kosher, I would say, for you to present all this information without waiting for all the motions and briefing to be done. Kind of looks biased.
Oh, it absolutely is biased. I think your lawsuit is hot garbage. I think you're...
absolutely not. I think that a lot of attorneys do not like pro se litigants in their playing field because, of course, you worked hard for your education, but it's a thorn in your side that somebody might be able to demonstrate technical skills without a JD. So I really think your issue is your ego, that you don't like pro se litigants in the field. And I've seen this over and over from attorneys all the time. They get all puffed up. Oh, what does that person know? But you know what? One of the biggest mistakes you can ever do when you're in a battle with somebody is underestimate your opponent. You know, so
no, one second. Let me just let you. You probably don't know this about me, and that's fine. There is one group of people I hate way more than pro se litigants, and that's attorneys.
And I don't think that's true.
Oh, it's 100% true. I think they're the worst people on earth.
I would have to disagree with that, but I would say.
Who's worse than an attorney? Like what group
Who's worse than an attorney?
Yeah, what group of people is worse than attorneys?
A patriarchal sexist. Patriarchal sexist.
Aren't attorneys predominantly male and therefore automatically predisposed to being patriarchal sexists?
Sure, but
yeah,
you know,
so
you gotta...
that's like a Venn diagram overlap. I stand by my statement.
I still disagree because, you know, you got to account for the attorneys that actually have come out of the dark ages and actually treat women as equals, you know. So, but let's not derail from the issue here. You're presenting this case, you know, but don't forget there's more pleadings coming and there's more briefing. So, you know, you can't...
I'll be covering them when they come out. But like I'm telling you that based on what has happened so far with the service, I mean, your service is faulty on two fronts. One, maybe three, because I didn't check the timeliness, but you don't have the court listed on the service. That's a blatant violation of Rule 4.
Well, that's because we're in the middle of a corona epidemic, and it's not for me to decide where the court case will be. I mean, if it's on Zoom, when am I going to put a Western District of Zoom? You know, that's for the court to decide.
You filed it in the Western District of Virginia, right?
Which has five locations. It has 5 locations. And the court decides whether it's going to be in Abingdon or Big Stone Gap.
Yeah, but
that's really not a decision.
No, but you didn't write Western District of Virginia on the service notice. Like there's
on the summons?
No, there's nothing on there.
or the return of service? Which one are you referring to?
On the summons. If you're watching the stream, I can bring it up right now for you. Oops.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, there's a delay, I think, on my
yeah,
video.
It's about 20 seconds, and this is the summons, and right at the top, you'll notice it says United States District Court for the blank. And that's where you would have to put for the Western District of Virginia.
Oh, okay. Well, let's put it up there because there's a delay in my video.
It's up there.
So I don't know what. I can't. There's a delay. You're still talking about something else on my YouTube video, so I can't see.
Yeah, if you may want to mute it. I can hear. I mean, I don't care if you mute it or not. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you, I think you
know
might
what?
be
Let me
behind.
refresh.
Yeah, go ahead and refresh. And
Yeah.
I've got it up. I'll wait.
Are you looking for a way to make some extra cash?
Oh, did you get an ad?
Yeah, no problem.
Money in the bank. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah, no problem.
Money in the bank.
Oh, let me mute. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Well, I do see the Western District of Virginia missing there, but just like the meritorious defense posture of the defendant, it goes both ways. The judge is not going to dismiss it for a technicality like that because he knows I'll be right back there filing it again. So do we want to waste everybody's time?
It's that's not to dismiss the lawsuit. That's just to reverse the default judgment because you have improper service. So if you have improper service, you can't get a default judgment. And that's only one of the reasons.
No, it just results in reserving them again. Hey, look, I didn't pay someone to do this. The marshal is appointed for a litigant who proceeds in form of pauperis. So, this is
you got IFP on that? Good job. I'm glad
this is a
glad
marshal.
that you did.
Yeah, this is a marshal, so they look everything over. And
well, thank you for spending my tax dollars on bad service. That's a joke.
Well,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey, I pay taxes. I pay plenty of taxes to the federal government and to the state of Virginia. So I'm getting some of it back.
I'm just making jokes anyway.
Okay.
But
yeah, no, that's okay.
So what we're talking about is the default. Do you want to run down like the claims that you have against Josh Moon? And we can talk about them. Like, do you want to do that right now? And I can tell you what I think.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to decline because if at any point he should request a jury, I don't want to say I prejudiced him, or I don't want him to be able to say I prejudiced him by talking about the case publicly. So I'm going to decline that. And also, I have a hoarse voice, so
no, I gotcha.
I'm going to keep things to the point. But basically, my 2 cents is that to be unbiased, you should really wait until January 7th.
Oh, I don't want to be unbiased.
To follow
though.
the pleadings. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like I said.
Please, I don't believe that.
What are you talking about? Lawyers are biased all the time. Like if you hired a lawyer, he would be biased for you, right?
I mean, you would hope.
Yeah,
but,
I'm a lawyer. I have very strong opinions on this, and I think using the district court to harass someone because of someone else's actions is absolutely an abomination and an abuse of the process. I don't think you have meritorious claims, so I think your lawsuit is a waste of time, and I think it's harassment, to be honest.
So I addressed that claim in my reply to their combined memorandum. So as a pro se litigant, I cannot upload to Pacer, but it should be coming in the mail. So, I addressed that in that pleading. So just, your best course of action is to make sure you're including all of the motions, all of the pleadings, all of the replies.
Why is it my best course? I mean, I get why that might be a good course of action, but why is it mine specifically? Like, what if I want to present the most biased thing against you possible?
Oh, that's your choice. I'm just talking to you on pure level of ethics. I mean, you're your own person.
That's not an ethical issue, though. Like, especially if I
fully...
Sure
it is.
No, not if I disclose that I'm fully biased against you.
Yes, look what you and Moon have repeatedly done. You have presented stories with selective content to prejudice others' opinion of me. That's putting me in a false light.
I didn't prejudice anyone's
threat.
Opinion of you. I read your
on.
I read your ethics complaint against me, I read everything you wrote about me. I didn't leave out a single thing.
Oh, and I respected that. I really did. That you were courageous and ethical enough to allow your opposition a voice. I did respect that. But in this stream, not so much, because you're cutting the story a little short here.
I'm not cutting the story short. I let you come on to say whatever you want. I mean, I'm giving you more voice than you would ever have had in any capacity. I do that for anybody who's talked negatively about on my show. Like, I mean, I'm biased against you because I've read your pleadings and I think they're terrible, and I think that what you're doing is abusive.
Look, the fact remains that they were so terrible. Hey, the fact remains, if they were so terrible, the attorney would have filed a demur. If there was no cause of action, it would be a demur.
He's filed a 12B6 motion to dismiss and all of the other 12Bs that are involved. This is federal court.
Jurisdiction and service.
No, and failure to state a claim. Did you not read the motion to dismiss? We've got 12B1, 12B2, 12B3, 12B4, 12B5, and 12B6. 12B6 is failure to state a claim. All the other 12Bs are all of the other issues. The problem is that you have so many failings in your pleading that there are several reasons to support the motion to dismiss. We'll see. I still have until December 31st to respond to the motion to dismiss, and I have plenty to say. It's going to be about 25 pages. So you'll have to wait for that. But your claim, Melinda, what law was broken? Do your viewers know what the case is about? I haven't read the actual complaint yet.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We're talking about the default judgment today. I don't know if I'll get around, now that we've had this phone call, we're, going through more. I also had a viewer and subscriber have a medical issue that I was addressing. So I don't know if we'll get to the complaint today, but we will get to the complaint for sure. Right now I'm talking about why the default's likely going to be reversed. And so then we'll get into the claims. But I assume it has to do with something where someone else posted something on Kiwi Farms that you didn't like, and that's what you're suing Josh over. Is that right?
No,
is that a good summary?
This is a quicker summary would be it's the tort of IIED for years of that thread's existence.
But what intentional act did Joshua Moon do to cause you emotional distress that is so outlandish that it would shock the conscience of a reasonable person?
Yeah, so I think it's better for me to put that in my pleading because I could talk for at least 25 minutes about that. But
so you have 25 minutes of talking about what specifically Joshua Moon did, not what someone else did that you're attributing to him because of his facilitation of the website.
Completely just Joshua Moon. Completely just Joshua Moon. I could talk for 25 minutes. But I would say for your question, at least I will answer about shocking the conscience of a reasonable person.
Yeah.
Reasonable person.
Give me all
Joshua
those
Moon has
juicy
several victims. Okay, they just simply don't have the legal resources to even get as far as I did. But he has several victims.
Well, neither do
who would
you.
Stand up.
I mean, technically.
Oh, hey, I will be completely transparent and honest that I have never claimed to be a legal expert. Just like many people, I do the best I can with the time and, quote, resources that I have. Okay, so, that's the way our legal system works. You have a legal injury, you have to find the resources to remedy it. But, Joshua Moon has many victims, okay, who don't have those legal resources, and they are reasonable people who would say they are just as shocked at his behavior.
Even assuming arguendo that your statements about Josh and other people are correct, I mean, you still have to have a particular injury against you. You have to have a specific action that he did against you that is so, like, I can't sue you. Like, let's say we reverse the roles, right? I can't sue you because you did something shocking to someone else. I'd have to sue you because you did something shocking to me. I'm curious what Josh Moon did to you, what intentional infliction of emotional distress he provided to you. I mean, that's a very high bar tort.
Oh, yeah. And, like I said before, I don't want to speak on it because if we get to the point where he asks for a jury trial, I don't want to say I prejudiced him by speaking about things.
Do you think the entire Western District of Virginia is watching my show right now? I mean, I'm flattered.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. Because one thing I know about a lot of people in the government is that they've got one face at their job and another on social media. So I'll just say it that way. People sniff around. I'm no stranger to the fact that people have two faces, one for their job and one on social media. So I'll just leave it like that.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to say? I mean, I don't want to keep you. I know you're working and you've got a hoarse voice, and if you've got, I know you have a young child that you're nursing, which I fully respect, by the way. I am the father of 5 children. So I'm.
You have 5 children. Oh, that's surprising.
Why is that surprising?
Yeah. You just don't come across them as a person with 5 children.
Why not?
I don't, well, let me think. For one, you just don't have a soft personality.
I'm the nicest person I've ever met.
Okay. You just don't have that personality in my point of view. I've met fathers of large families and they're just a little bit softer personality. That's all.
Wow. You must be very fortunate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I really didn't even expect to talk this long, but, don't forget there's more pleadings and briefs coming.
Oh, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, Nick's kids are fake. Is that true? I don't know.
No,
I just saw somebody say that.
That's a running meme. It's a joke. No, I have 5 children, ranging from 3 to 13. And
3 to 13.
Yeah,
okay.
And they're all and I've been married to my wife for 16 and a half years now.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's quite a bit of time to manage life together and children. That's good.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I respect that you have the child and you're nursing and all of that stuff. So I do commend that. I just think that your use of the legal system is abusive, and I don't think that it's a good thing. But I don't think you're a bad person or anything like that. I just think that your actions with the legal system are really, really bad and detrimental to it overall.
Okay, well, you have a right to your opinion, of course, but I answer that in my next reply, too. So I'll just, keep it brief.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say that.
Well,
they're still on the 9 husbands thing. Okay.
Oh, that's them. I've seen the allegations. I don't know you. I don't know anything about it. So I just think it's funny that every conversation turns into that issue. No how
matter where
how many
talking.
husbands do you have, Melinda?
You say that like I have more than one at the same time.
No, I say it like a joke because I make lots of jokes.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, that's good.
So, but I do want to afford you the opportunity to say anything you want before you go, and we'll get back to the show will get back to talking about the document. But is there anything else you want to say about this, about Josh, about me? You have the floor.
Oh, that's a big prompt. I really don't have anything.
You don't have to. I want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I'm not like cutting you off or having you miss any point. I want to give you, like I said, every opportunity to respond.
Okay, I'll respond to Red Cornflakes asking me to curse you. No,
yeah. Do you do like some awesome like Kabbalah magic or anything? Because that was one of the allegations, right? On Kiwi Farms.
Oh yes, I'm documenting everything they're saying, but I did think the Kabbalah allegation came up. I don't believe in Kabbalah, so that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
But I have no particular reason.
I look at most of that stuff as a joke, so that's why I was curious to see if that is anywhere in the ballpark of your actual beliefs. I don't know.
Oh, she isn't a Jew though. Yeah. Okay. She isn't a Jew though.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
I think that's not really in dispute, right? Like you are Jewish, right?
Oh, that's one of the biggest disputes, and actually, I think that one actually gets under my skin a little bit because my grandmother, my father's mother, is Ashkenazi. So you guys can stop with the "I'm a fake Jew."
Okay, so you're
I have
so you're
I have
saying
a right to Aliyah.
you are
Yeah.
You are Jewish, because I don't know this. This is neither here nor there. I'm just curious about like whenever I've read, and I haven't read anything about you since, like I haven't read the Kiwi Farms thread since I think the last time I talked about you, which was the ethics complaint. So I don't know what's been said since. But so I'm just trying to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe everybody has a right to tell their own story, and that's really what is at the heart of this. And Judaism is past my mother, not father. That's rabbinical Judaism. So, sorry, now I've gotten you into a religious debate here. But
no, that's fine. I'm just learning. I don't know anything about it, and I'm always happy to learn.
Yeah. So even though ethnicity for Jewish people is passed down by the mother in rabbinical Judaism, the law of return that allows me the right to Aliyah is passed down by third-generation relatives. Well, I'm not pronouncing Aliyah wrong. I mean, I'm just saying it more in an English way. She believes in British Israel. Honey, they're just coming at it so fast. But I have a right to move to Israel. My grandmother is an Ashkenazi. And her surname is unmistakably Jewish. You can't deny it. I won't say what it is for her own privacy and for mine.
Please don't. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I won't do that, but,
I have a question that's unrelated to religion, ethnicity, or the lawsuit. It's a question I just ask a lot of guests. What is your what kind of shoes do you wear?
Oh, I wear sporty tennis shoes throughout the day.
What brand do you like?
Oh, whatever is like cheap at Ross or Marshalls. I'm not really a brand person. I wear athletic tennis shoes so I can move faster to take care of 6 children. So, yeah.
Yeah, because
Skechers. Yes, I like Skechers. Mm-hmm.
Skechers are great. I used to wear different kinds of shoes, and then I started wearing almost exclusively running shoes because it's just so much more comfortable, like moving around.
It is.
So.
It is. High heels are terrible for your, spine. I know a lot of women like those for the work days, but they're actually really bad for your spine. So I go with flats.
What about you mentioned a lot about like ethnicity and stuff like that. What's your relationship with your parents? Like what about your dad? What's that like?
Yeah, so my father passed away in 2006.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
And yeah, it was not a peaceful death, but it's a private issue, but they've kind of put it all over Kiwi Farms, so what can I say? But and then my mom passed away last June. So
oh God.
Fortunately, yeah, it was unfortunately both of my grandmothers had to bury their own children, so that was pretty unfortunate, but daddy issues. No, I don't have daddy issues.
Well, I wasn't asking if you had daddy issues. I was just asking because some people have great relationships with their dad and stuff like that. So
sure.
Yeah. Just...
Oh no, one of your users. I'm reading comments as I go. I'm just because my biggest mystery in watching this whole thing is like how exactly the focus ever got on me and on my family. I just don't know if you guys are some kind of cult or secret society, or you just are a bunch of people interested in law. It's just really bizarre. I've never had this kind of
there's no
attention on my
As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any focus on you, but in my I've had Josh on the show, and I know a lot of people who watch my show watch like Josh's show and stuff like that. So if he's involved in a lawsuit, like I'm gonna cover it. I don't care. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't care if it's you bringing it or anybody else. And outside of this lawsuit, I have no interest in covering you or your life on my show at all. I probably wouldn't have even mentioned you before, except I had Josh on. We talked about your suit against him, which was like a year ago or whatever, and then I got the ethics complaint, and I just have a policy of reading every ethics complaint that comes in, I read them all because of, transparency, and I also find them to be hilarious, usually. So, but as for you personally, like I said, I don't like read your Kiwi Farms thread. I don't keep up with it. It's not that I don't care about you, but I don't care about you. Does that make sense? Like, I don't mean it in a rude way. It's
It's
you don't
okay.
enter.
I mean, I don't need you to care about me. I understand what you're saying. But I'm just wondering. So you have no particular connection to Kiwi Farms. You just happen to be acquaintances, friends, or however you want to label it, with Mr. Moon.
Acquaintances or friends? I mean, maybe. I've never met him in person. He's been on my show to talk about several issues. We talk about digital censorship. We talk about free speech. We talk about things like, theoretical futurist stuff like the upcoming singularity. We have debates about the ethics of human life and AI and stuff like that. I find him to be a fascinating person on those subjects because he spent so much time on the internet looking at so many weird and different parts of it. He's able to kind of give me insight and challenge on stuff like that. So that's why I like talking to him. But as for being associated with the Kiwi Farms, I don't even have a Kiwi Farms account. So I just go there and occasionally read stuff. Usually I read what nasty things they say about me.
Oh, you have a thread?
Yeah, you should go check it out. It's great.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just trying to connect the dots here because I moved to a town of like 10 people, and then all of a sudden my name's all over the internet, so I'm just wondering what kind of project is going on over there at, your website and Moon's.
Oh, I don't have a website. All my stuff is here on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. But yeah, the Kiwi Farms is just, that's Josh's website. But what people post there, is not his words. And under Section 230, he has no responsibility for what people post there unless he gets a valid legal request to move it down. And even then, under Section 230, which, by the way, I'm not the biggest fan of how 230 is implemented, but that's what it is. Under Section 230, he's really not liable for anything anyone says. And that's one of the other problems with your suit, and why even if he doesn't get it dismissed under 12b6, which I think he will, he'll have an affirmative defense. And that's part of the meritorious defense claim, I'm guessing, is that under Section 230, he just doesn't have liability for things that other people post.
So just briefly, there is some case law in the 4th District that lays out some of the exceptions to Section 230 immunity. Off the top of my head, one of them is Nemet, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but there are some exceptions to immunity, which I've addressed in my complaint and then in some of my replies to the attorney. So if
I'll pay special attention to them, and I'll go through Westlaw and I'll read the cases on those since you brought them up. When I actually go through that part of the case.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't want to keep you. We've been talking for about 30 minutes now. But anything else you wanted to? Yeah, time flies. I know. But anything else you want to say? I don't want any idea that I didn't give you the opportunity to say something. So please feel free. And then if you wanted to go, we can go ahead and end the call.
Well, yeah, I think this would be a good point to end the call, and there are some things I have to get to, and essentially what I wanted to say is make sure you look for the other pleadings motions and filings coming, and I think that's the best way for me to communicate with all the people watching, and yeah.
All righty. Well, thanks for having me call you, and if you ever want to come on the show, you have my email address. If you want to talk about anything, you are welcome to do so. I will. Okay, yeah, maybe at another time when my voice is rested. Right. We had a birthday party yesterday evening, so I had to do a lot of refereeing between children, so my voice is pretty much shot. But yeah, maybe at a later time when my voice is rested. All right, sounds great. Well, I hope you have a good night and take care of those kiddos. All right, thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Okay, bye.
There we go, guys. That was unexpected. That was unexpected, right? Woo! Okay. That was great. I'm so glad she called in. She seems really nice. I wish she wasn't using the lawsuit to go after. But then, of course, I wouldn't have gotten to talk to her. I've changed my mind. I now think Joshua Moon should go to prison. I know she didn't call him. She invited me to call her. We'll be precise. Okay. You owe us a shot of something you hate. I do. Let me see what I've got. Oh. Here we go. What I'm going to drink is Mahina Hawaiian rum. This stuff tastes like Christmas. Like, ugh. Like Christmas spices, and not in the good way. Okay. Yes, Vine will be on Twitch. Well, that kind of derailed the whole lawsuit discussion. We'll have to pick back up and read the complaint. I still believe that I haven't read the complaint in a while. I have read it, but I haven't read it in a while. And I haven't memorized it off the top of my head. I still believe that the default judgment will be reversed very quickly, and I do think the complaint will be dismissed against the government entities. It was all dismissed, and I have a feeling against Josh it will be as well, because here's the thing. Josh allowing things on the website is not intentional infliction of emotional distress. It just isn't. Because to be intentional infliction of emotional distress, Josh would have to take an overt act that is so shocking to the conscience of a reasonable person that they would feel compelled to give relief. Like, that's the standard for intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's the common law standard. And so Josh would have to do something like he would have to take the worst stuff that other people posted and put it on like a billboard by her house, or send flyers to her neighbors, or send emails to all of her like family members, or something like that. You know, like send deep faked nudes to her religious center, or something. Like, it has to be really far. You can't just say someone said I have 9 husbands or whatever, and that is intentional infliction. It's not. And you have to, again, show the intentional acts of the individual. You don't get to collaborate in the acts of third parties with the acts of the individual. Oh, boy. Why did you lie about our little law-splaining cult? Are we a cult? We cults now, boys. Okay. Let's drink this Mahina. I don't like this stuff at all. Oh, God. All right. Bad Vibe says, ooh, that's what we do. We pull Visa and MasterCard's insurance. I don't think that's going to work. Bad Vibes also says, hey, Karen, you have to get past service first, which is true. Apparently, Catnip Dave, by the way, for an update. You guys probably know better, but apparently his hospital has been contacted and first responders have been sent to him. So thank God. Hopefully everything will be okay with that. Mahina is better than Malort. But I am not a fan of it. It's probably great in like hot chocolate or something. It's got like that nutmeg taste. Ugh. Mr. Freddie Drongo says, thanks, mate, for all the good times. Hey, thank you. Bad Vibe says, hey, Nick, you are now responsible for Scott's claim she has made on your stream. Socialism is for Fig says, she is a dirty feminist garden tool who is a terrible single mom, the most terrible kind. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Bob the Troll King says, that call was the excuse I needed to talk to Spider-Man's girlfriend. Breath of fresh air. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the basis for the motion to dismiss, and then we will probably wrap up the stream. And then we'll have to go ahead. And again, I was not expecting a call from Melinda tonight, or to be invited to call Melinda tonight. So I was not expecting that. I hope you guys found the call interesting and insightful. And it's nice to humanize someone, right? Like a little bit. You get the one aspect of them, and then you talk to them, and it's nice to get the human side of them. So that was good. All right, so the motion to dismiss is here. After that, we'll wrap up with Super Chats, and then we'll go over to Twitch and do Cyberpunk. Remember, as a celebration for passing 10,000 followers on Twitch, I will be doing a Gamer Girl or an E-Girl stream on Twitch probably this weekend. There will be Tool, there will be Christmas lights or multicolored lights or whatever. We will have stuffed animals. I'm trying to find some thigh-high socks that will fit me, and I will sit around reading my phone, making fun of the chat for not being rich enough. So that'll be great. It'll be a fun time. If you don't follow me on Twitch and want to make sure you catch that, go ahead and follow me on twitch.tv/Ricada Law. So, tonight we'll be doing Cyberpunk, just normal. Okay, so here's the motion to dismiss. And Joshua Moon moves to dismiss the complaint in this matter pursuant to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In support of his motion, he states as follows. He's not an employee or officer of any federal, state, or local government or government agency. That is to address claims, likely to address claims that are raised in, as most of the defendants here are government agencies. And so the government agencies are sued. A little tip to Melinda, if you want to get around that pesky 11th Amendment immunity that she claimed was the reason that the state was insulated from the lawsuit, which may be true, but if you want to get around that, you need to name the individuals in charge in their official capacity. You need to sue people, not entities, when they're state entities. And you can sue them typically under something like a 1983 claim or something like that if you believe they've deprived you of a civil right. That's what you need to do if you want to get around that 11th Amendment immunity. Okay, so he does not reside in the Western District of Virginia or the United States of America. He has not resided in the U.S. since July 9th, 2018, and has not visited the U.S. since July 9th, 2018. He has never, to the best of his knowledge, set foot in the Western District of Virginia. He has not visited Virginia at all since childhood. This is a jurisdictional problem for Melinda with Josh. She needs to show why the Western District of Virginia, while it may be a convenient forum for her, has jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction over Josh himself. Just because it's a federal court does not mean they have jurisdiction over any federal or any person in the United States. They would still have to follow the jurisdictional rules of the Western District of Virginia, and Virginia specifically's jurisdictional rules, the state jurisdictional rules under their long arm statute. That's how they would exercise personal jurisdiction over Josh, and which means she would have to show that Josh either has significant contacts in Virginia to have general jurisdiction over him, or that Josh intentionally directed specific activity toward the forum state of Virginia to do something, or that he did the act in the forum state. So if she could prove, for example, that Josh was in Virginia when he posted some defamatory statement, something like that, when he was intentionally inflicting the emotional distress, he would do that. And by the way, she mentioned IIED. This is an extremely high bar. So something that would be intentional infliction of emotional distress. It's a highly subjective claim, but it tends to require shocking of the conscience and severe emotional distress. And you typically, to show this for damages, need to show damages. Like, you need to show that you're in therapy. You need to show that you've been harmed, that you have lost income, that things have happened because of the emotional distress inflicted. It is a very strict sort of, I don't want to say strict liability, but it is strict on the damage that is done, that it has to be shown with specificity. So examples of intentional infliction are: you murder someone in front of someone else, like you make them watch you kill them, you make them watch you do some harmful act. Maybe you strap them to a chair and they have to watch you like dox them online and post their revenge porn or something like that. Those are types of things that are intentional infliction of emotional distress. Saying someone has a bunch of husbands or even doxing them, not intentional inflictions of emotional distress, typically speaking. There would have to be something really specific that is intentionally done to cause emotional distress, and it has to cause the distress. Let's see. Phoenix Arm says, happy birthday, Nick. Same day as me. Hey, happy birthday back. Can you say in your best Fargo accent, I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, yeah, and would blow your head clean off, yeah, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Godspeed. I don't know if that's a Fargo accent. I'm not great at those. So thank you, though, Phoenix. I really appreciate it. Okay, so he doesn't reside and never visited Virginia. The complaint is devoid of allegations that Mr. Moon undertook any acts which could lead to proper venue in the Western District of Virginia. Because Mr. Moon is not a government actor, does not reside in this district, does not reside in the United States, has not even set foot in Virginia, this court lacks personal jurisdiction over him. Process was itself defective in this matter. The summons does not contain the name of the court as required by Federal Civil Procedure 4A1A. Such defects in process must be remedied under Federal Rule Civil Procedure 12B4. Service of process in this matter was also defective under Federal Rule Civil Procedure 4 for several reasons. Summons was not served timely, which I didn't look into the timeliness, but, well, if they're alleging it, I'll go with it. Service of process has not been waived, nor could any penalty be imposed on Mr. Moon for failure to waive service pursuant by 4D2 because he is not located within the U.S., has not at any point since his action was filed entered the U.S. Federal Rule 4E does not apply or was not complied with. Specifically, Mr. Moon is not within a judicial district of the United States as contemplated by the rule, has not been within such judicial district since the action was filed. Alternatively, assuming arguendo that the rule does apply, neither E1 or E2 were complied with. That's where Virginia and Florida have their requirements for service. I talked about this earlier, and there was no personal service done. And then service at the place of abode was not followed either. Pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 4F, Mr. Moon is an individual in a foreign country. However, service in this matter was not undertaken in any of the internationally recognized modes contemplated or authorized. He's not a corporation or association subject to service under 4H. 4K1A establishes that a summons can only establish personal jurisdiction over a defendant who is subject to the jurisdiction of a court of general jurisdiction in the state where the district court is located. In Virginia, he is not subject to that general jurisdiction because he does not have sufficient contacts with the forum state of Virginia, which is international SHU. It's well-established law how you go through this. Mr. Moon would only be liable for tortious injury in the Commonwealth based on his conduct outside the Commonwealth if, quote, he regularly does or solicits business or engages in any other persistent course of conduct or derives substantial revenue from goods used or consumed or services rendered in this Commonwealth. There's no idea how many Kiwi farmers are from Virginia, but it would have to be a significant amount of people that he knew were in Virginia to go ahead and do that. And she would have to put forward that proof or that allegation. Complaint fails to state a cause of action upon which relief can be granted. This is 12b6. On information and belief, this complaint may be barred by the doctrines of res judicata. It's res judicata or collateral estoppel. The court previously dismissed similar claims brought by Ms. Scott and Scott v. Carlson for failure to state a claim, and Scott v. Moon dismissed for failure to state a claim. Only while researching the instant motion did undersigned counsel for Mr. Moon become aware that Ms. Scott also filed suit against the defendant in the General District Court for Wise County. See Scott v. Moon. That court appears to have entered judgment for the defendant, which was upheld by the Wise County Circuit Court of Appeal. Undersigned counsel has not yet been able to obtain the state court judgments, but will update the court if those judgments appear to bar the claims at issue in this matter. So apparently, Josh won a lawsuit in the Wise County and on appeal, and it appears he won those lawsuits without actually being involved in the appeal or the claim at all. So I'm not aware of those. I don't know if Josh is aware of those. I'll have to ask him if he's seen those. I didn't know they existed because state courts are harder to find, but maybe it kind of looks like maybe Josh won a lawsuit without even knowing he was in it. Oh no, I just saw a great chat. Maximus the Merciful says, thanks for calling me handsome last stream. Unbuttoned shirt guy and I are now going steady. He says, Feliz cumpleaños, amigo. Oh, Maximus, is that you, buddy? We need to chat. I've got your card right here in my wallet, I think. If not, I've got it. Oh no, that's a different card. I've got your card in my suitcase. I'll have to send you an email, man. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to go through the memorandum. These are the basic claims. Let's read the intro though real quick. The intro's great. The intro's great not because this particular intro is great. It's great for getting a feel for what's in there. And we'll have to follow up with this with the full complaint and everything. This complaint was filed on July 8th, 2020 in form of pauperis. It represents the third time Ms. Scott has sued Mr. Moon in this court since 2018. A cursory search of the PACER system reveals Ms. Scott has also sued numerous individuals and entities in federal court in the past few years, and her name was also frequently appears on the online dockets for the state courts in Buchanan County and Wise County, Virginia. This is probably a problem. People can get addicted to legislation. Like we were talking about porn addiction earlier, or not legislation, litigation. Don't get addicted to litigation. Don't do it. People can get overwhelmingly attached to these sort of things. Oh, by the way, I forgot to grift likes. Guys, if you like this stream, if you like the lunacy that happens here, please hit like. YouTube is doing new tomfoolery and fuckery to go ahead and suppress streams. They're actively suppressing concurrent view counts right now. They're removing viewers. They're removing subscribers every single day. And they told me it was going to happen. They said, oh, you may see an impact to your viewership. They're actively and constantly suppressing viewers. Please hit like. Please share the videos you like from creators, not just me, from creators who create content that you enjoy. If you like stuff and want that stuff to continue, make sure you support it. I would never ask you to give me money. That's not what this is about. But I would love it if you hit that little share button or that little like button or both if that's what's on your mind. If you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. Send comments. Send chats calling me a giant piece of shit or whatever. I'll take all of it. Let me know. But it is really awesome when you guys do go ahead and hit like. It does help, and especially with YouTube actively suppressing the distribution of content that might be a little bit risque. Look, they were promoting election-related content through the election because it made them a ton of money. A ton of money. Now they're suppressing those channels that were covering it. And don't be surprised to see some real big stuff happening to some channels you might like in the near future. So go ahead and hit the like button. It would be wonderful. Okay, back to it. This court should dismiss this suit for the same reasons it dismissed Ms. Scott's previous 2 suits about Mr. Moon. She's failed to state a claim against him. Additionally, this court should dismiss the suit because of numerous procedural and substantive defects identified in the accompanying motion and more fully set forth below. So that is the underlying issues in this case. We will go ahead and take a look at it. Maybe I'll do a summary short video since those tend to get a little bit more exposure and distribution. They're also a little bit more digestible with less shenanigans and tomfoolery going on in them, and people do like those. So I am trying to upload short content again as often as possible. I had a short video today. Go hit like or dislike on it. If you hated it, that's fine by me. Just let me know in the comments what you don't like, and maybe I'll argue with you. Let me know what you like as well, and I'm happy to read those also. All right, guys, let's do the super chats, and we will wrap up this. We will wrap up this show, and hopefully, I can go ahead and follow this lawsuit with particularity. I want to make sure and give Melinda's side of the argument as much coverage as it deserves as well. So, I'm not drinking. I don't have any Malort. I brought it to Road Rage, and then I was going to drink it with Keon, and then I left it there. It was in someone else's Airbnb, so I don't have it. I don't know if anybody grabbed it. I hope not. Okay, let's do the chats here. We got in Kermit voice from Phoenix Orem. Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Oh, thank you for the diehard. Hey, come to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Right? Like diehard. Very good. Very good. Okay. We've got Books, Games, Pottery. Says, a little bird told me your birthday was tomorrow, 12/16. Is that true? Yes, it is. My birthday is now. We are now today, but this was sent yesterday. Red Dragon Lord Z says, this message is for your eyes only. I hope you like Stuffs and Things. A while ago, I had the chance to own a game called Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. Keep in mind, I know fuck all about Warhammer, but if you come watch me on Twitch, I'll play it. I like Martyr, and they just did a new season. I was kind of curious on checking it out. Red Dragon Lord Z says, Red Dragon Lord Z on Twitch. Wasn't able to fit this before. That's what she said, Kappa. Okay. Disappointed says, with all the ignoring of rules in place, what would stop E.G. Texas sending 271 votes for Kanye? Well, the only thing that would stop it would be Mike Pence wouldn't read those votes. But I guess if Texas did it and Mike Pence read them, then Kanye wins. Night of Hope, that's what Barnes seems to indicate as a possibility. I respectfully disagree that would work, but I guess theoretically it's possible because I don't know how anyone would fight it. A lot of our government acts just exists on agreement by everybody, so it's hard to say what actually happens. Night of Hope X says, 2021, MasterCard heard you employ a white male at the sandwich shop. You're not allowed to take credit here anymore. Good luck feeding your family's pale skins. Incidentally, once homeless, you can take a free train to shelter. They have nice chimneys. Damn. He also says, a way to stop the banks, go against them legally. Meantime, print the money and go back to a cash-based society. Never going to happen. Not a chance. Pay every government worker in physical money. Create a USPS version of Western Union to send physical money. It would suck, but it would work. It won't happen, though. The government has no interest in doing it. He says, I guess the other plausible solutions would be to have a foreign country or commodity company of some kind accept payments in Bitcoin for cash or commodities with their own technology and then give the customer back that cash or gold or something. They'd probably get hit for money laundering. So maybe. Well, SCOTUS ain't going to get in the way, says Hanging Fox. No, you're right. SCOTUS probably wouldn't. That'd be the crazy thing. SCOTUS might not have any say in what Mike Pence reads. And that is what Barnes put forward. It's possible. It's possible. All this stuff leads to war, so we'll see. And yes, I know the fraud leads to war too. I'm not denying that. So Taybebe26 says, happy birthday. Oh, wait, I read that one. Boomer Man says, BitChute is starting to censor people. Can you look into the law and TOS on this? I'm confused as to why. Yeah, I know they did. I covered it. Then Styx Hexenhammer came out and said, no, BitChute totally didn't censor people. So, and BitChute's like, no, I mean, I know we said we did, but we didn't. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what content they removed. I don't know what algorithm they're using and what organizations they're affiliated with. I only know what they said, and they said they were working with Hope Not Hate to provide a better platform. They said that, and then later they said, no, we're not working with Hope Not Hate. So I don't know what the reality is. Mercenary X, this is not spoilers. Nick, when you get to the point necessary, look for the Skippy gun. It is the greatest gun in existence, but always choose pacifist first with it. You'll thank me later when Nasty Surprise comes into play. He also says, maybe I'm cynical, but I don't think the Melinda in the chat is the real thing. No, I think it was her. How would you even test someone like that for legitimacy? Do litigious lunatics have some kind of way of proving who they are digitally? And does this broad even own a microphone? Well, she owned a regular phone, so awesome. Mercenary X says, good God in heaven help us. You can just hear the dripping liquid metal of the Karen in her voice and spiked with SJW insanity. I need an antidote to the venom. She could just spit on me like a flipping cobra. I need a show just listening to her. I fear seeing her. Permafrost says, fake Jews, that's the shit I don't like. Malik Foxen says, this was fucking comedy gold. Also, it's literally the lawyer's job to be biased in your favor. Otherwise, he arguably isn't doing his job, right? You want your lawyer to be biased because you want every advantage in court possible. Lawyers are the most biased. Permafrost says she's a Jew under Israeli law, one or more Jewish grandparents, not religious Judaism, Jewish mother. Malik Foxen says this is actually going pretty well. Also, props to Melinda for calling in at least. Not a lot of people will do that. I thought it was going to be a shit show, and I was pleasantly surprised. Props. Your suit sucks, but you're pretty all right. Some asshole says, hey, Nick, Melinda is trying to guilt you into not covering her retardation. Fuck her and her dead parents. Damn. That's brutal. I don't agree with that. I've seen, like, both of my parents are alive, but I've seen what loss of parents does to people, and it's tough. I'm definitely going to cover the suit, though. Absolutely. Hermit the Frog says, listen, chat. Oh, wait. Listen, chat. I won't name names, but I want to let you know something. Having some bastard child suck on your single mother teat does not make you a good person. Books, Games, Pottery says, whew, exciting night in your Discord. Hope we didn't annoy you too much with all the messages. You didn't annoy me at all. I just wish I could do more. Honestly, I have no clue what you said in your stream. Hope it was good, lol. Thanks for caring enough to interrupt your stream with updates. Of course. If I could have done more, I would have. I gave you the information that I had. I really hope Catnip Dave is okay. The guy's really a nice guy. Agrilith says, happy early birthday, you magnificent SOB. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thank you. Swade's Lounge says, DLive has monetized super chats and subscriptions. I mentioned my DLive issues yesterday. DLive was not super interested in helping me with an obvious squatter who is not using the platform on my name. So if they're not interested in helping me resolve that, then I'm not super interested in utilizing the platform to generate revenue for them. That's fine. That's not like a oh man, I hate DLive. I wish them well. But if they're not interested in me generating revenue, then I'm not interested in helping generate revenue. I'll find another platform that is. Rational Redneck says, what's your take on the Michigan report on Dominion voting systems? I read it. We talked about that earlier, much to my chagrin. Cheech says, hail no. 420. Well, he's not here, but 420 Atheism says, what do you think of Uncivil Law saying he won't be on any more streams with Robert Barnes due to his dispute about standing? That's his choice. That's his choice. And if he doesn't like what Robert Barnes says about the standing issue in the Texas case or in any other case, I'm not the internet's police, and I have no particular desire to dispute Uncivil Law's claims about Robert Barnes or Robert Barnes' claims about standing. I gave my opinion yesterday on the issue, and I don't know if my view is as harsh as Kurt's is, but my view is you can't refuse to consider standing, especially when standing is the reason why the suit is dismissed. I mean, you can say that the standing stuff is bogus. That's what Robert Barnes did, and I tend to agree with a lot of that. Uncivil Law has a lot of good points about why standing isn't bogus, why it's not a manufactured doctrine, but rather just an extrapolation of existing constitutional law. They both have valid points about it. I'm not picking a side, but I can see Uncivil Law's frustration. I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? Disagree with him, or don't you be frustrated? No, I mean, that's what happened to the suits. So there's something important going on there. All right. Monopojogus X says, I had 50 tabs for Destroy Dick December. They all vanished overnight. This is the biggest tragedy of 2020. Yes, I mean, Pornhub has really removed a ton of content. According to them, they've removed everything that's not from a verified uploader. Like, I mean, they have their, browsers and stuff like that, which are their verified uploads, and then they have their like OnlyFans style users who upload content. But apparently, they removed everything else. So I think there's more issues going on there than just the underage stuff. I think there's copyright issues that are also a part of this. But no, it seems like they tried to head this off and it didn't work. Yash Ken says, happy birthday, my favorite internet shock jock. Hey, thank you. Nathan Kish says, happy birthday, a shot of Woodford in your honor. Cheers to you, buddy. Thank you very much. Jonathan Ferrier says, what came first, the chicken or the egg? The correct answer is cock. Redacted says, tell your boy with the cancer to look into heat shock therapy. I've seen some miracles. I assume they're looking into everything. Amateur Ant says, it'll show up in a Dominion fraud machine. Adrian, I think he's talking about the painting I was talking about. Adrian Valladares says, completely unrelated, but did you hear that Funimation bought Crunchyroll? Yes. Crunchyroll being where most anime was legally streamed. Thoughts? Well, Sony bought Funimation and then bankrolled the purchase of Crunchyroll. All your anime belong to them. Maybe I'll have to do a stream about sailing the high seas, matey. Certainly I would not condone. I will only condone the legal viewership of any content and stuff. But there are interesting topics about sailing and shipmanship, captaincy, navigation, and all of that stuff. Angry Baneling says, happy birthday, Nick. May you be blessed with 39 more. Also, where's the cake? I was told there would be cake. My dessert spoon is ready. I ate cake. I'm probably going to eat some more cake on stream tonight on Twitch. Chris French says, thanks. I wasn't looking in the right spot. Well, I'm glad you found it. The gray one says, also happy birthday, Mr. Ricada. May it be spent with joy and good whiskey. Thank you. Will Peshesny says, happy birthday, Nick. Keep up the good work. Here's to another blessed trip around the sun. Thank you. Amateur Ant says, we are heading right into the Mark of the Beast territory. Watch Captain Elaine of the Death Watch says, divine blessings upon your anniversary of birth, brother, Imperator Prodigit. Thank you. Thank you, brother of the Death Watch. I love Adblock says, when someone says, think of the kids, people at the New York Times unzip their pants. Very sad. Many such cases. Disgusting. Robert Stratton says, card networks should be like common carriers, content neutral. If issuing banks want to clutch pearls and drive people off like Chase, so be it. Maybe, yeah. I I think card networks, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Removing access to the monetary system through private means, it seems unjust to me. Where it leads ultimately, and people can make fun of me and say this won't happen, but this is where it leads ultimately, or something similar, is where you go to the grocery store. And when you go to pay, and it doesn't matter if it's cash, check, or charge, you will have to put your phone on the scanner. They will check your social media accounts through NFC, and they will check the last 30 days of things you said and make sure there's no wrong think before they will opt to do business with you and give permission to the store to accept your payment. And it won't matter, again, if you're using a card or not, because they won't process the store's payment if the store allows racists. And under the current understanding of how private businesses work and the current penchant of especially neoconservatives to strongly protect business, that is allowable. That is absolutely allowable. And if you say you don't have a phone, you won't buy groceries. Sorry, we can't verify. You're not saying nasty things. That is my prediction. Unless something is done, that's where this ultimately goes. It's not like I'm unique here, right? Black Mirror covers stuff like this. That's what Black Mirror is all about. And it's coming. It's not very long. So we have time to change it. I just don't know how. Somebody does. I don't. Somebody knows. I'm just here calling out the problem. Ethris Fox says, you can't build a new payment processor. Says, of course you can. People forget that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk started PayPal only 20 years ago. PayPal does the same stuff. They did it to PornHub last year. Guess what? You gotta be in the club to process payments. The ACH network has a rule of conduct. That ACH network's rules of conduct are written by the main member banks, similar to the Federal Reserve System, and they all agree. It's a giant oligopoly that they agree to the rules in a very gentlemanly way. PayPal's in it. Stripe is in it. You can't do it. Automata says, time to drink 39 shots. No, thank you. I read Rational Rednecks thing about the Michigan voting system again. Shadows King 101 says, let's get an F in chat for Catnip Dave. No, it sounds like he's doing okay. Hopefully. Shadur Shad says, can we all buy shares in Visa or MasterCard and take it over? Theoretically, I guess. Shadows King 101 says, apparently they're calling Dave's local hospital. AEL Mario 91 says, happy birthday, legal boomer. Thank you. Ruth Glendinning sent a donation, but no message. Thank you, Ruth, for that. Mr. Leon says, rackets, we got a handle in the Discord. He's getting help. Thank you. Angry Baneling says, she's not wrong. She does have a hoarse voice. I can appreciate her self-awareness while not wanting to stab my eardrums at the same time. While also wanting to stab my eardrums at the same time. Hashtag positivity. Amateur Ant, thank you for the donation. E. Malachi says, hey, Nick, when is your birthday again? Now. It exists now. Biden the Gold One says, fantastic call, well handled. Serial Foxity says, Fuda cult, you didn't ask the Fuda question. Next time. Bad Vibe says, shocking. Nick's nose has caused more bodily harm than the combined history of boxing, MMA, and wrestling. Salt says, how was the question you ask all your guests, not should Futas have balls? Really let me down, Chief. Oh, no, trust me, I didn't say all of my guests. I said many of my guests. It's specific demographic. Amateur Ant says she has 6 kids. Lol, sounds like she's going for a payday instead of owning up to her poor choices in life. This is why I don't mess with U.S. Whammon. Mr. Leon says, hey, yo, rackets. Couldn't tell if you saw. We were able to resolve the issue. Just wanted you to know. Thank you. Joshua Vidrine says, happy birthday, Nick. Thank you for sticking around to educate us for another year. What would you like most for your birthday aside from our shekels? I would love a store to allow me to buy an Xbox Series X. I didn't pre-order one because I'm a pleb. I should have. Other than that, I don't want anything. I really don't. I like the cards my kids make me. I like the hugs my kids give me. And I like that my wife sticks around me for another year. That's the best birthday I can ask for. My parents gave me an air fryer, which I'm pumped to use that. Bad Vibe says, more shocking, Nikki is a basement Canadian grifter. Damn. Amateur Ant says, typical whammon, I don't need a man, but I'll lie and take him to court for his money. Dang. Viden the Cold One says, giant piece of shit. Heart. Phoenix Oram says, Dead Snake 989, quote, I hit dislike because your nose has its own zip code. Oh my goodness. Bad Vibe says, Nikki, I think we need to revoke your Grift Award because we all know you only do this for the lulz. Fed Zeppelin says, happy birthday, take my like in simp shekels. Happy to do that. Guys, I learned today that Punisher is a simp. Did you guys know this? I never watched Punisher Season 2. And Lady Rackets and I watched the first 2 episodes of Punisher Season 2 today. And he's a giant simp, and it's the cause of all of his troubles. And in episode 2, he realizes it. He's like, that was a guy, I would have just let it happen. But I saw a girl in trouble, and here I am. Now my whole life is ruined again. Simp. No, empty art house. It's not me. I'm not calling him a simp. He called himself a simp. In season 2, it caused him all of his troubles. All of his troubles. Let's see. Barb Rogers, Little Miss Sunburn says, what's this about the Fang Fang Bang Bang ritual? I have no idea. Amateur Ant says, if these do nothing Repubs think they'll win another major election without Trump supporters, they're wrong. I agree. They need the Trump supporters. Numufu says, you survived another rotation around the sun. Happy birthday, Rackets. Thank you. Oh, I changed my mind. I know what I want. I want Neil deGrasse Tyson to tell me that my birthday is arbitrary and unimportant. That'd be peak 2020. For Neil deGrasse Tyson to birthday shame me, saying, look, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, and your arbitrary rotation revolution around the sun means nothing to your age. It is just a stupid, archaic ritual based in pagan heathenism and should not be acknowledged in any way. Go jump off a bridge. That's what I want for my birthday. Chris French says, as Kermit, shut up and buy my merch. Kyle Robertson says, social credit scores ahoy. I, for one, welcome our financial corporate overlords. I know he doesn't sound like that, but I don't know what he does sound like. So I went with a fake Lando or whatever. Big Red the Bard says, take my Google money before it expires, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Blaine20 says, MasterCard is owned by the royal family. That makes it difficult. But why can't someone go after Visa and MasterCard for the same way they're going after Facebook? Happy birthday, youngin'. They can. They just won't. But thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Brian and Terrence says, happy birthday, loser. Oh, thank you, Brian. It makes me very happy. John Cook says, bending the knee never works because they don't actually care about the principle. They care about the power. I need a fake SIN to buy my soy calf. Brock M says, China is already using their social credit system to deny or elevate services to citizens. I imagine U.S. card companies are salivating at the thought. Fig Bad DN. Oh my God, CJ, it has been too long. We need to talk again soon, man. We need to hang out sometime. You're hilarious, and I miss you. I miss you. I love you, and I respect you. He says, happy birthday, Rackets. Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate that. Bad Vibes says, relatively speaking, you're simultaneously ancient and a child. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Come hang out with me on Twitch if you dare for some Cyberpunk streaming. We'll see you over there. Here comes the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Malik Foxton says, calm that leg down, Nick. Chercoon is rocking like crazy. I can't calm it down. It's a disability, and you will not shame me for it. Also, I'm cooming. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Here's the outro. Catch you soon. Peace.
he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a bow, more a love rug. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks from Doug T to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career.
Oh, Big Bad says your birthday is arbitrary and should not be acknowledged. Damn. Damn. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law